Buffalo Bills announced today that safety Damar Hamlin is showing signs of improvement, but is still in critical condition in the intensive care unit. Reactions still pouring in from around the league. Giants coach Brian Daboll.
I feel for Damar, most importantly, his family, but all the players and coaches that are around him every day. He's a tremendous young man, and just pray for recovery. That was tough.
Brian Daboll. Hamlin went into cardiac arrest on Monday night against the Bengals. Jets quarterback Zach Wilson will be a healthy scratch for Sunday's game against the Dolphins, but head coach Robert Saleh says the team is not giving up on Wilson, and they hope to do everything they can to maximize his potential. Wilson has 2 years left on his rookie contract. Iowa forward Patrick McCaffrey will take an indefinite leave of absence from the Hawkeyes to address his mental health. McCaffrey is the son of Iowa coach Fran McCaffrey, and he's the team's third leading scorer this season.
Coming up Thursday, will Aaron Rodgers, yes, that Aaron Rodgers, ever win another Super Bowl? We'll have the answer on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy coming to you live from the Ingles studio. And we are heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and seen everywhere on YouTube. Every time we're live, you can just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can join us in the chat. And yeah, so today, Power Rankings Day.
It is Power Rankings Day, and we are but 5 days away from the kickoff of my favorite season of the year.
The Draftmas season.
The Draftmas season. It is almost time.
I mean, and see, this is what happens when Jeremy's Jets finally get. See, he had to wait too long this year to get it finally eliminated from playoff contention.
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you pull for a team that's awful and never makes the playoffs. You have to get really excited about the draft and the offseason. This is the only time you're ever happy.
Right. It is a brand new year, though. It's 2023. First Power Rankings of 2023, and every NFL team. We're gonna pick resolutions for every NFL team during today's Week 18 Power Rankings. Yes,
it's New Year, New You, which usually turns into New Year, same you, 4 weeks after you say that.
Yes, you just find a new way to backpedal on whatever resolution you have set for yourself. Hopefully not. Hopefully 2023 will be your best year yet. We're all hoping that it will be. But I've said this at the beginning of each of the last 3 years, and though it has gotten better since 2020, still ain't been great.
I will say the same thing to NFL teams that I say to people when they tell me their New Year, New Me resolutions. You were a train wreck last year, probably going to be a train wreck this year. If I were a betting man, I'd say you'll be a train wreck next year too.
Nice. Anyhow, yes, Week 18 Power Rankings. We are continuing to follow the story, of course, of Damar Hamlin, who collapsed on Monday Night Football, and there are very few updates to be given, but we have gotten little windows of good news since last night. I think the last thing I heard was there was an uncle and there were a couple of friends of Damar that were saying that he is breathing better.
Yes.
today.
There seemed to be encouraging signs. Things happened overnight that they were hoping to see by the morning. So those are all good signs.
Yeah, he had, as I heard it yesterday, he was 100% being assisted with his breathing when they first sedated him and got him to the hospital, and that has gone down to like 50% help. So that's good news. And if we hear anything else, of course, we will bring it to you over the next 3 hours here in the Ingles studio. Now, Week 18 power rankings, we always start at the bottom. And there's nobody to start with other than the team that's been at the bottom of the power rankings the entire year.
The Houston Texans.
That's right, it's the Houston Texans.
And their New Year's resolution is to take better care of yourself.
Oh, okay.
Because for some reason, this team has really liked being bad to itself. We have a franchise left tackle that wants to be paid as the number one left tackle in the league. Well, that's a good start. The only problem is you don't have anybody to protect.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have 2 picks in the top, I think at worst, top 15. If the draft were today, they'd have 1 and 12. Your best case scenario, if you don't take Bryce Young, I'm done with you. I will write this off. There will be 31 teams in this league next year because I will refuse to say the Houston Texans name. Don't say C.J. Stroud. Do not say C.J. Stroud.
All right.
I've heard that for 3 days now. If that one game changed everything we thought, then why do we watch the rest of them? There were questions about C.J. Stroud. I feel like he answered some of those. Not all. Mm-hmm. You take C.J. Stroud ahead of Bryce Young, you'll regret it for 10 years.
Okay.
Not because I don't think he'll be good. I do think he'll be good. Houston needs a can't-miss quarterback prospect. Because what's the nice way to say this? Have you ever had a bad pancake?
Yes.
All right, let's try this again.
He was expecting a no on that one.
Have you ever had a bad taco?
No.
Neither have I. The Houston Texans could mess up a taco. Easiest thing on the planet Earth. 5 ingredients. 4 of them come out of a bag or out of a can. Throw them on the shell and eat it. So you need somebody you cannot mess up.
Gotcha.
And that's Bryce Young.
Okay.
If he was 2 inches taller, weighed 10 pounds more, we'd talk about him like Trevor Lawrence. He's not, and we don't.
All right, so they're resolving to get the quarterback.
Well, you got to get everything. I mean, there are players that played on this team that I swear to you don't belong in the XFL. And stop trying to rehab old guys. And stop reaching. That Kenyon Greene pick, it was every bit as bad as I thought it was on draft night.
I think
Good Lord, he's been dreadful at times.
I think maybe the Houston Texans, along with every other franchise in the NFL, should just resolve to no longer chase the New England dream. Because every team that does regrets it. Las Vegas Raiders. Think they would do that differently if hindsight was 20/20? 100%. They wouldn't go after Josh McDaniels.
No. I will be interested to see if they go one and done at coach again. I don't necessarily think you should. Not because I think Lovie Smith's the guy, because I think you could have Bill Belichick could take this team over. I don't think you're winning more than 3 games next year.
Right.
Just understand that. Embrace the bad. In our YouTube comments, Patrick Holt asked, what kind of crappy taco are you making? Look, I'm talking 17 domestic lights. You're a little hungry. It's night time. You need food. Well, because the room is going NASCAR race. So you get a little meat out of the fridge, throw some shredded cheese out of a bag, a little sauce out of a bottle. Don't look at me and say you've never done that.
Opens the bag of salad.
And just throw that on there too, all right? Cruciferous vegetables. It's all good. Let's do this.
Jeremy just loves making things from bags.
Here's the thing. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So give me a cheap McDonald's cheeseburger or an out-of-the-fridge taco, and I'm all the way in.
Yeah, it's not something you're going to see on one of those tasty TikTok videos.
No, I'm not saying Guy Fieri made it. I'm just saying, you know what? It'll keep you alive.
But given the opportunity, the Houston Texans would
maybe set your bar a little lower. My wife did. It leads to a happy life.
I made the joke,
so you couldn't.
I mean, for now. At number 31,
the Chicago Bears.
Oh, wow. I mean, how long are we? Can Chicago Bears fans resolve to stop with the Justin Fields thing?
Okay, my resolution for and this is for Chicago Bears fans. The organization, I'm not sure you're not beyond help. Your fans, go to an optometrist and have your eyes checked immediately, because whatever it is that you're seeing, it's not there. Justin Fields completed 7 passes against the Detroit Lions, who at one point were on pace to be the worst defense in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
I get that it got better. I'm well aware of that. Don't feed me he has no targets. Don't feed me the line. Analytically, the line's actually been mediocre at best. Weapons, you gave up a 2 for Chase Claypool. You used a second-round pick on Cole Kmet. You have a second-round pick in David Montgomery. I can keep doing this. He has no weapons. No, the Tennessee Titans have no weapons. You have a bad quarterback that's making your reasonably talented receivers look like bad receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just go see your doc. Let him put a little contraption on your head. And which one's better? Number 1 or number 2? Whichever one leads you to Justin Fields is bad, 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 bad. You're getting closer.
Mm-hmm. Is this another possible one-and-done scenario?
With Eberflus?
Yeah.
No. He's very safe. I actually think he's done a reasonably good job. And Luke Justin Fields is this bad. He is this bad. I have been railed on for using his win-loss record. All right, let me ask you a question. Name me a quarterback that's ever started this bad. He's 5-20. Name me the last quarterback that's ever started that bad that turned into even a mediocre quarterback in this league.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a hint.
It's never happened.
There's not one.
Not even Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't start until very late. So, I mean, and the win-loss record on him is not good anyway. So, no, it's never happened.
Yeah.
If you get to this point, you're 2 years in. But he threw a dart to Darnell Mooney. Ryan Leaf threw a few darts. Jamarcus Russell threw a few darts. The problem is that they were few and far between, which is exactly how I feel about Justin Fields. And my hope, since you're committed to this, trade off that whatever pick you wind up with. There will be teams that need quarterbacks, and they will give you a boatload.
Mm-hmm.
Houston Texans are not going to be stupid enough to win this week. You think you've seen bad NFL football? You see that team the Houston Texans are going to trot out this week because they could lose the number 1 pick.
Right. So Chicago would have the number 2 pick in the draft.
They will. Those two will be 1 and 2. There's almost nothing that can happen that would change that.
Okay.
I mean, they'd have to win.
I mean, they'd win. You could screw that up.
Yeah, but they still lose the tiebreaker. So those two will be 1-2.
Okay.
It's just which one's 1, which one's 2. And if you're Chicago, somehow Houston wins, leverage them for everything they're worth.
Mm-hmm.
That extra first-round pick, yeah, it's coming my way. Because you want a specific quarterback, and I know it.
Right. And you need to protect yourself against me trading that pick off to somebody else.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, is that number 30?
No. That's who I would be trading that pick off to.
It won't be long before we hear their
No,
name. Number 30, though.
They're not next, but they're in the queue. The Arizona Cardinals. Make up for past bad decisions.
Okay.
Hiring Cliff Kingsbury was stupid, and I said it the day you did it. This guy got ran out of a college program. You thought he was going to come into the NFL against the greatest coaches in the world, and this wouldn't atrophy with his 4-foot little quarterback? Okay, then. Time to unwind that.
Mm-hmm.
You're stuck with Kyler Murray. Financially, you're not in great shape, and you're not very appealing. However, if your ownership group is willing to come off the money, apparently Sean Payton has an interest in this job for some reason. There is a possibility. Do I think it's a big one? No. But there's a possibility that the New Orleans Saints balk at paying Sean Payton $25 million to come back. My belief is, has, and will continue to be his little retirement year was to prove a point to New Orleans. You cannot keep kicking the salary cap thing down the road. You will see it when I'm gone. So he took a year off. He winds up back in New Orleans. Now, Gail Benson has been notoriously cheap. And there's a possibility she balks at that. If you look around this league, there's not a lot of places for Sean Payton to go. New Orleans will take any pick they can get.
Yeah.
If they can't agree on terms to the money.
Yeah.
Arizona's got talent. They just need somebody with, an IQ above salad dressing to make it all work. That your quarterback doesn't just absolutely despise. So if it's Sean Payton, so be it. If not, go get one of these young hotshot guys. Bring in a veteran defensive coordinator, as I often say.
Mm-hmm.
But if the opportunity to right your wrong presents itself, you better do it, and I don't care what it costs.
Yeah, you definitely need a different plan, because now this is 3 seasons in a row where Cliff Kingsbury, and this year didn't start off like the first 2 years, but the first 2 years, remember, they got out to pretty decent starts. Hell, they were 8-1 last year, and then lost every game the rest of the season.
You could make me the president of the United States. You won't see it crash into the ocean for 2 years. Now, when things that I've done start taking hold, it's going to look like a little different place.
Yep.
And that's what happened to Cliff Kingsbury. It's gotten worse every single year.
Mm-hmm. And Cliff Kingsbury is now the head coach of a team that's on a 6-game losing streak and will be at 7 games after they lose to the San Francisco 49ers this week. It's clear he's not cut out for this. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville, or call them at 828-365-1663.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Hey, this is Peter Schrager from the NFL Network's morning show, Good Morning Football. You've also seen me on NFL Sidelines and in studio for Fox Sports on Sunday. Well, I've got a new podcast with iHeart in the NFL, and we're calling it The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to empty my proverbial notebook and take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't go through another year with that knee pain or back pain. People with chronic joint pain are getting real lasting relief from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. Their unique protocols use healing agents from your own body to target aching joints, repairing and restoring damaged tissue so you can move again with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Got shoulder pain? Excruciating hip pain? If you have any arthritis pain or lingering pain from an injury, don't let them operate on you or give you more steroids, and say no to the pain pills. Call QC Kinetics and see if their all-natural treatments can get you living your best life in the new year. This is the future of joint pain management, and appointments are available as soon as the next week. Make 2023 the year you say goodbye to joint pain. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It is ESPN Asheville, and we are in the midst of the Week 18 Power Rankings season coming to a close this week. We've got playoff implications, obviously, in a lot of games this weekend, and we'll get into all of it throughout the program here as we work our way through the Power Rankings. But I mean, we got to start off with the dumpster fires of the NFL. Houston Texans, Chicago Bears, Arizona Cardinals. Those are your bottom three at the end of the regular season, or last week of the regular season.
Yeah, it's not going to change.
No.
And nothing you can do that will make that change.
And at number 29,
the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, so I was wrong. So I was wrong about Jeff Saturday. He's not going to be a decent head coach in this league. He doesn't know how to handle himself with the media, at least in coaching fashion. And okay, but it was a fun little experiment while it lasted, wasn't it?
And this resolution is a resolution that I'm sure many hoarders all over the world are trying to take up this year. Stop spending money on useless crap. That's the Indianapolis Colts resolution. Whether it's Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Jeff Saturday, I'm sure they're all wonderful people. They're not cut out to do what you're asking them to do. And you keep just frivolously spending money at things that don't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid. Your best case scenario is the same as the Carolina Panthers. Bring in Jim Harbaugh to be your coach. Draft C.J. Stroud to be your quarterback. Now, the problem is only one of the two of you can do that, and you're not as attractive as Carolina is. But you have a higher pick.
Yes.
Currently, they would be at number 5. Now, do I think C.J. Stroud's falling to 5?
No.
No, sir, I do not.
That's not going to happen.
No, there will be a trade.
Yes.
It's just a question of who it'll be.
Yeah. Because the teams in that little honey hole, they don't need quarterbacks. They're not in the market for quarterbacks.
That's my favorite restaurant at the beach, the Little Honey Hole.
I mean, Chicago needs one, but they won't take one.
No.
They should trade out of that spot. You got Seattle. They
needs a quarterback, but
they
won't
take one. Arizona, they're stuck with Kyler Murray. So who makes the jump up? Does Atlanta make the jump up from 7?
No. It's Carolina and Indianapolis. Those are the only two that have the ammo of you're sitting in the right spot, that these teams don't have to come down too far. I don't think anybody's signing up in this draft class to go from 2 to 12. They might go 2 to 5.
Right.
Because you'll still get a high-level impact player.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, after about 8, there's a reasonably significant drop-off.
Absolutely. So the Washington Commanders are out. Oh, wait, that'll all be settled when Sam Howell makes his start this weekend.
We're going to talk about that.
The Indianapolis Colts, so they need to stop spending on frivolous things.
That is a much nicer way of saying what I said.
I mean, that is kind of my shtick.
You're what? You're the nice.
Yes.
You're the nice, and I'm the naughty.
Exactly.
All right. I'm okay with that.
Number 28.
The Denver Broncos.
I mean, I would say don't screw up the head coaching hire, but you just did that. So
I'm taking all the resolutions off a list of common New Year's resolutions.
Wonderful.
And theirs is turn off the TV and learn a book. I don't care who you hire. They could not possibly be worse than Nathaniel Hackett. It's not possible. You could hire Pee Wee Herman to be the head coach of this team. It cannot be worse than Nathaniel Hackett was. You can call Rich Kotite and see what he's doing. It can't be that bad.
Okay.
But whoever it is that you commit to, you have to fully commit to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, we've talked about Sean Payton and the money he wants, Jim Harbaugh, the money he wants. Whoever Denver hires, this is going to have to be a all-in, full-in commitment. Because you got to ask what you're asking this coach to do. They're having to accept a GM that they may or may not have any prior history with.
Right.
You're having to take on Russell Wilson knowing full well that you have given up just copious amounts of draft capital to get him, and he was a dumpster fire. Now, do I think he'll be that bad again? No, I don't. But you're really going to have to overpay, and you're going to really have to commit. And I don't know who that guy is.
I don't think they have. They won't have a problem overpaying.
No, you got one of the richest owners in sports.
Right.
But I feel like Jim Harbaugh is using them. I mean, I've heard that he would take it if it was offered. Jim Harbaugh would take any job in the NFL if it was offered to him. But if he had to rank them, and now he's one of the most alluring candidates, I'm not sure Denver's even in the top 3.
Who else would be in the top 3?
Well, he has history with Indianapolis. Carolina has a better young roster with better draft capital. Both these teams have better draft capital.
I think Carolina would be the one.
I'm not sure he wouldn't be happier in Arizona than he would be in Denver.
Okay.
And, of course, there's going to be the one that nobody's thinking about that we haven't figured out what that is yet. We'll know that 1 week from today.
Right. Who's going to give up? I don't know. I don't know what the path forward for Denver is. I mean, if you don't get Jim Harbaugh, is this the Ken Dorsey hiring? Is this the assistant guy? You're going to bring in the assistant guy to – do you do that again after the Nathaniel Hackett thing?
The name I can't get away from?
Yeah.
The guy whose name I can't pronounce. Shane Steichen, whatever it is.
I have no idea.
I have no idea how to pronounce this guy's name. I've heard it about 43 different ways. I don't know what it actually is.
Right. From the Eagles, right?
Yeah, because he has a history in Seattle. And it's not even a history with Russ. It's just you were in the same building with Pete Carroll. You know exactly what he did to get the most out of this guy, and he's going to be a head coach in this league.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at what you did with Jalen Hurts, who had a lot of quarterback limitations, and I can't get away from it. Every time I see that name, Denver is immediately where I go.
Yep. At number 27.
The Los Angeles Rams.
I'm interested to hear this one.
I thought about this one more than I thought about any other team's New Year's resolution. And I can't do anything but sing Auld Lang Syne. May old acquaintance be forgot, never talked about again. You take this year and you burn it. I mean, set it on fire. Don't have anything in the building that says 2022. Started well, ended really badly. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford's coming back. I don't think he would have come out and said that as clearly as he did if he wasn't. And don't, please, for the love of all good things, do not do this Baker Mayfield thing. I know you want to. I know you're tempted to. Don't do it.
What keep him around as the backup?
No. Not just no, but no. This was a blip year. I think you made an error at offensive coordinator. Losing Kevin O'Connell may have had more of a role than people would have let on. And it was death by 1,000 paper cuts, and then you were just killed with injuries. They're still a talented team.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me any team in the last column of the power rankings from 23 to 32 was a legitimate Super Bowl contender next year, the only one I've got is the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes.
But you're hurting draft capital again. I feel like the solution is just try to keep the band together. Really make sure Sean McVay is committed. Really make sure Aaron Donald's committed. Really make sure Matthew Stafford's committed.
It's really the only thing you can do.
You don't have any other choice.
Right. You have to try to maintain your stars and figure out a way to get some bargain basement deals here.
And look, they've hit on some late round guys. You just need more.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Black in our YouTube comments said a name that is really interesting. We were talking about coaches to Denver, David Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really interesting name to me. I had not thought of that, but that's a really interesting name.
One of the resolutions for the LA Rams has to be more protective because your offensive line was terrible.
I see what you did there.
That offensive line was terrible, and you went into the season knowing it.
Well, it's weird. Think about all
do.
those position groups that we talked about going into the year of, man, this is not good. New Orleans Saints quarterback room, LA Rams offensive line, Tennessee Titans wide receivers. And guess what happened? They all bared themselves out.
Those were your apparent Achilles heels. And unfortunately for the LA Rams, it just spiraled out of complete control. Can they turn it around next year? Maybe so. But you got to make sure that you're not going to lose your head coach to TV and Aaron Donald to retirement, and maybe Matt Stafford comes back. I don't know what to believe at this point.
I can't believe he would have said it the way he did if he wasn't.
At number 26, it's a team from the NFC South, but it may not be the one that you're thinking of. It's time to get just a bit outside. And Just a Bit Outside, brought to you by Road Combat Club. Go to roadcombatclub.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
The Green Bay Packers are having a contest where they're choosing their fan for the year. So this is like the Hall of Fame of Green Bay Packers fans. There's this contest going on where you can vote online for all of the finalists, and the winner will get 4 club seats to a 2023 Packers home game, $500 Packers Pro Shop gift certificate, so you can at least buy one jersey with that, a road trip for 2 to the 2023 Packers away game, including game tickets, airfare, and hotel accommodations. Plus, a 1-year subscription to PackerNews.com. That's what every fan really needs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we do a lot of that, so I probably wouldn't throw that much shade at that.
I tell this story, though, because I have a new favorite, and he may be my new favorite, quote-unquote, super fan of all. His name is Mr. Packer. Ryan Holton Murphy Packer. His actual name, or his real name, was Ryan Holton Murphy. And then he got married to a woman with the last name of Packer. And he took her name just so his last name could be Packer. So
you can change your name to anything you want.
I get it, but hey, I mean, this kills 2 birds with one stone. He proves to his wife that he is committed for the long haul, and he gets to prove his fanhood by being Mr. Packer. I think this is now my favorite. I've never heard of this before. Of course, it would. I mean, you can't really. There's not anybody out. I can't. I couldn't go and marry a girl named Buccaneer. So.
Well, I mean, and when Tom Brady retires, you wouldn't want to.
Hey,
if you
stick with your Jets, I'll stick with my Bucks. Win or lose, we're in this for the misery.
If you weren't already questioning a lot of things that happen in California, I'm about to give you another reason. On Monday, we have the national title game between the Georgia Bulldogs and the TCU Horned Frogs. There's only one problem.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tailgate in the parking lot. There is absolutely no tailgating.
But why?
The parking section of the website, tailgating will not be allowed in any SoFi Stadium parking lot for the national title game. Now, I like analogies a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things that I look at and go, A, I don't know how this made sense to you in the first place. B, I don't know how you think you're going to keep this from happening. I don't know if you've ever been to an NFL stadium. I don't know if you've ever seen security at an NFL stadium. There is a decent amount of it, not enough to patrol that entire parking lot. And if you think people aren't coming into this game 14 domestic lights deep, I got a bridge to sell you.
Well, it's fine. You can come in 14 domestic lights deep all you want to, but the moment you pull out that grill, mister.
Oh, yeah, because that's the problem.
What are we going to do?
Oh, yeah, that's the problem. What are you worried about, global warming? Off somebody making some burgers outside of...
They're worried about that idiot that leaves the grill half lit in the back of his car and it sparks a wildfire that takes out the entire metropolitan of L.A.
I don't think that's the half lit they're worried about, but you're going to have that problem anyway because you got enough of me out there that I ain't doing this sober.
Yeah, this can't be about drinking. This can't be about alcohol. You can't hold a football game, period, without expecting people to show up already half in the tank.
Well, here's the thing that really ran afoul of me. At SoFi, they allow tailgating for select events. But you have to buy a tailgating pass to do it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you will never, ever see me by choice step foot into the state of California.
No.
Because at one point they went, hey, here's a great idea. Let's build this huge stadium for two teams that moved here that have, 30% capacity in our stadiums. And then we're going to tell visiting fans that they have to buy a tailgating pass. No politics. You can infer where I'm going with
I think it's because there's too many vegans out in L.A. They get really upset when they have to walk to the stadium and pass all of those bratwursts and hamburgers.
Adam Black in our YouTube comments said tailgating is probably offensive to someone out there. It's
100%.
entirely possible. It's entirely possible.
Absolutely. Good night. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN. How are you going to have a national championship game without tailgating outside?
And that is why I will be watching this game from the confines of my own living room.
Bougie. We'll continue with the Week 18 power rankings and this year's resolutions for each and every NFL team next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Most of the big weather stayed south of the state line. Down in South Carolina, we've got hit-and-miss thunderstorms as a cold front comes through tonight. And then we sound the all clear overnight tonight. Turning cooler late week here in Asheville. 37 our low Thursday morning. Sunshine Thursday, cooler, high 56, low 32 tomorrow night. And then Friday's high temp in the upper 40s, upper 20s Friday night, Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in two bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs. How Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
On the free iHeartRadio app, you never pay to hear what you love, and you never wait to hear what you want. Save your money, save your time, and listen anywhere. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio. Some people got COVID and thought, well, that wasn't such a big deal. But you can get COVID again, and next time it could be worse, especially for those 50 and older, or with a chronic condition like heart disease or diabetes. But with an updated vaccine, you have better protection from COVID's worst outcomes. And that's a big deal. Find updated COVID vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
You are in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville. It is a Wednesday, and we're doing power rankings for Week 18, the final week of the regular season. We got power rankings today. We've got a football Thursday, because programming note, we will not be with you on Friday.
Jeremy will be on an airplane.
That's right. Jeremy's heading down to Miami to go see his Jets try to spoil the party for Skylar Thompson and the Miami Dolphins.
That's fine. You ever been to Miami? I don't need a lot of reasons to go.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been once. I only got to spend a couple of hours there waiting on a cruise ship, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the lowest temperature I will see the 3 days I'm there is 64.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, gonna enjoy that just a little bit. He'll be able to put his he'll be able to take his foot prisons off and wear shorts again.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing shorts right now. It has to be real cold for me to not.
Well, it has been real cold here recently, just outside the Ingles studio. Week 18 power rankings. We continue on here with the New Year's resolutions for the worst teams in the NFL. As promised, a team from the NFC South. Which one is it, though? There are so many bad choices here. Number 26.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, they're doing stuff. Look, going forward, I feel like Atlanta has more to hope for than, well, at least half of the league or half of the division.
And the New Year's resolution for the Atlanta Falcons, get in touch with your creative side.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think there's really a path that they're going to get one of these high-end quarterbacks. So there's a great chance that this is either going to be a retread of some kind or Desmond Ridder.
Carson Wentz.
No, please no. Now, the thing I will say is you have two very, very big, very talented receivers. You ran the ball surprisingly well. Your offensive line was better than I expected it to be. You're going to have to get a little creative at quarterback. But, I mean, there's a lot of things to be excited about for Atlanta moving forward. I thought they were going to be the worst team in the NFL.
Is this a possible landing spot for Jimmy Garoppolo?
It could be.
Something about him it strikes me as he's he could be an Arthur Smith kind of guy.
Just mark my words. I said this. Derek Carr ends up in Tennessee and Ryan Tannehill ends up in Atlanta.
Okay.
To run Arthur Smith's offense, I've yet to see a quarterback that was as good at it as Ryan Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
And that screams to me what they would do. And if this works, great. If not, he's probably out of a job. Which he shouldn't be because he's a good coach.
Right. Biggest problem there is talent.
And that's a problem.
Number 25.
The Cleveland Browns. I hear a lot of people that really think this team is a Super Bowl contender next year. Not with that roster as it's currently constituted. It's not.
What do they need?
Get rid of underutilized subscriptions. This team has a ridiculous amount of talent. I don't know if some of these players are just not fit to the defensive system. I don't know what it is. I know there is entirely too much talent on this team for them to be the worst run defense I think I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people made this out to be, well, if they'd had Deshaun Watson all year. The last time I checked, he doesn't play defensive tackle. Last time I checked, he has never stopped a running back in his life.
And what have you seen out of Deshaun Watson the last few weeks that makes you think?
Deshaun with a full offseason without all the things, I have no qualms.
I get it. I'm just saying there's nothing that shows me that, if we'd have had him earlier, maybe.
If you look up and down that roster, there's just a lot of clutter. There's a lot of pieces that I'll give you an example. At receiver, you have a lot of guys. It's just a lot of, maybe it's like that jacket that's too small for you, and you go, one day I'm gonna lose 20 pounds and I'm gonna fit in that. No. Most likely, Donovan Peoples-Jones is never going to be more than an inconsistent, very low end 2. If you're expecting to beat people this way, it's not going to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
Amari Cooper has been really good at times. But you need more. You need more, and you need to figure out what in the world happened to that defense.
I would say the same thing about the offense. I get a full off season. Maybe Deshaun will be better, but this even before this, they weren't putting up points. And you got to be able to put up points to win in this league. You know, I mean, you can count on one hand the number of times they scored over 20 points this year.
Mm-hmm. I'm not as sold on Stefanski as a lot of other people are.
I think Stefanski's a really good coach.
I won't be shocked if Stefanski is the weird coach that gets fired.
Really?
Won't shock me in the least.
I can't see them doing that.
Won't shock me in the least.
All
right, so tell me what he has done that makes you feel all hunky-dunky about him. There you go.
I don't know. I feel like he's a good coach. I mean, hell, he helped get Baker Mayfield to the playoffs, so there's got to be something good about him, right?
I mean, and you say got the best out of Baker Mayfield. He was still the worst quarterback in the fourth quarter in the NFL over a 3-year period. So, I mean, okay.
But still, parlayed that into a playoff run.
That's like meeting somebody and you introduce them to your friends, and they're like, there's something about that. Well, the last 5 guys she's dated have taken restraining orders out on her, but one of them didn't file it. So there you go. Winner, chicken dinner.
Indeed. All right, so the Cleveland Browns come in at number 25. How about number 24?
The Washington Commanders.
Always need a good change in leadership.
Not exactly the one I had, but work on creating a more balanced life. I actually had 2 for Washington. Take a 24-hour break from media from time to time.
Right.
There's social media on the list. In the course of 24 hours, they have said Carson Wentz will not be active. Taylor Heineke will start, but we're going to see some of Sam Howell. Oh, wait, no, we're going to start Sam Howell now.
Yeah.
Did you need us to tell us how? Did you actually need us to tell you how stupid it was to play Taylor Heineke in this game and not get a look at Sam Howell?
Right.
Because that's how it played. I don't know that that's what happened. That's how it looks.
That's how it was reported. You got to get rid of Ron Rivera.
I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. He has all of the respect to that locker room. The defense has gotten so much better, in large part.
Then you get all new coordinators? Are you going to break up Ron Rivera and?
I do think you need to break up the Scott Turner thing.
Thank you, Scott Turner.
I think you need a creative offensive coordinator. Look, I've said the entire time I thought Sam Howell was the best quarterback in this draft class, and here's how I think this is going to go. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Happens all the time. I don't think I'm wrong here. Against a Dallas Cowboy team that pretty much knows they will show up and beat Washington because you've got a third-string rookie quarterback, I could see him looking Jared Stidham level impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to the offseason, and there's some hype, and I like Sam Howell. I do. I like him. I'm going to continue to like him until he proves me wrong. Something about Sam's. I just can't quit Sam's.
No.
It's weird. I've also paid for a Sam's Club membership for about 7 years, and I think I've stepped foot in the building twice.
Yeah, but you do order, have stuff delivered to your car.
I don't. Amy does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how groceries come to my house. I know they come from Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. But I don't know where. I don't know. Hey, what's in our refrigerator? I bet you open it and find out.
Mm-hmm. Same old Washington Commanders, though, year in and year out. And to me, if it were my choice, I would move on from Ron Rivera. I would try to get in on.
But you and I were never in on that anyway.
No, I wasn't. But I think has it not been proven? Has it not been proven to you? If just for the last few weeks of how this went down, you had a game where you could have made the playoffs or at least stayed in the hunt. And instead of playing the guy who got you here, you went back to the guy who sucked at the beginning of the year. For what reason?
Opie Taylor's balding younger brother.
Right. Like season's on the line, we're going to go back to Carson Wentz. Why?
By the way, my resolution for all quarterback-needy teams, stop trying to rehab Carson Wentz.
Right. Somebody's going to, though.
It's broke. Stop trying to fix it.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, number 23 in the Week 18 Power Rankings after the break.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. We'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
It has been the best year of my life because of the PhD weight loss program. I've lost over 90 pounds. I feel like I have a new lease on life because PhD has given me all the tools to success to finally conquer my weight problem. They've given me so much support. I cannot thank the health coaches at PhD enough for helping me stay motivated throughout this entire process.
I have long not had a weight problem. I've had a lazy problem. Fast food was easier. Hectic schedule, you just do what you do on the fly. After a year on PhD, I'm back to my high school weight. All of the health issues that I was having have gone away, and it's all thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
It is amazing how you feel when you lose a tiny person. Losing 90 pounds with PhD in a year, they can help you have the best year of your life going forward. It's time to start making all of those New Year's resolutions. Probably a good time to go over and visit myphdweightloss.com.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Ooh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The 2022 NFL season is underway, and there is no better way to stay current with all the news from around the league than with the NFL Now podcast. NFL reporters in the field and right out of the locker rooms, insiders in the know, insightful interviews, and immediate analysis. No waiting required. The time is now. NFL Now. 32 teams, one source. Join me, Andrew Siciliano, for all the football news you need to know. Listen to NFL Now on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
We roll on with the Week 18 Power Rankings here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, number 23.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
And like with every team in the NFL, this Power Rankings Wednesday, what's their resolution for next year?
Finish things that you start.
Okay.
There's not been a worse team in the fourth quarter in the NFL in over a decade. You take how good Minnesota has been in one-possession games, the Raiders are that bad. Look, I'm firmly of the belief there's not as much wrong with the Raiders as we want to insinuate that there is. I feel like the pass rush has gotten better. I've seen flashes. It's just been clunky.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid that they're about to blow this thing blow the entire thing up. Derek Carr goes. If Derek Carr goes, what do you do with Vontae Adams because you can't get off the contract? This is just one of those times. You don't have to completely upset the apple cart. You can go new year, new me. That doesn't mean, like, go bangs. Don't go bangs, okay? And that's what I feel like the Raiders are getting ready to do.
Bangs are always a bad idea.
Not always. There are people that can pull off bangs. But there are people that can, and there are people that can't. And the Raiders are about to be. How do you like my new haircut?
Still better than Mark Davis.
Ironically enough, yes, you are correct.
Don't care what you do to that hair.
Yeah, just don't go bowl cut.
You're right.
Hey, look,
Davis,
I don't feel like the Raiders are that far off.
Yeah, Mark Davis is one that definitely doesn't need to go bangs.
He already is. He's actually actively going bangs right now.
The Raiders are weird to me because I don't know what you do at this point. Obviously, there's been a falling out of epic proportions here for Derek Carr to just be sent away. I know I don't want to be a distraction to the team, but why?
Derek Carr has handled this perfectly.
But why set him in the first place?
The fact his brother was willing to go on NFL Network and go completely scorched earth on the Raiders tells me everything I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Tells me everything I need to know. That means there's things happening behind closed doors that we don't know about that David does.
Yes.
You don't just do that because you're a little butthurt at how things have gone. No, I've been hearing this all year, and now you've just embarrassed my brother, and I'm going to make sure people know.
Yeah. But Josh McDaniels comes in. Obviously, this was a team that we had playoff hopes for.
Absolutely.
And now they're terrible. And now they're getting rid of Derek Carr. It just seems like it's going down the toilet really, really quickly.
This feels like a place that needs a home, a little, maybe a couple tweaks, maybe a redesign, and we're bringing out sledgehammers. That's a bad call.
You're in the Sportsocracy. Here on ESPN Asheville Sports Center is next, and then we'll give you the next 10 in the Week 18 Power Rankings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Most of the big weather stayed south of the state line. Out in South Carolina, we've got hit-and-miss thunderstorms as a cold front comes through tonight. And then we sound the all clear overnight tonight. Turning cooler late week here in Asheville. 37 our low Thursday morning. Sunshine Thursday, cooler, high 56, low 32 tomorrow night. And then Friday's high temp in the upper 40s, upper 20s Friday night, Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in 2 bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Some people got COVID and thought, well, that wasn't such a big deal. But you can get COVID again, and next time it could be worse. Especially for those 50 and older, or with a chronic condition like heart disease or diabetes. But with an updated vaccine, you have better protection from COVID's worst outcomes. And that's a big deal. Find updated COVID vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Staples has everything you need to get organized this year at amazing savings. Right now, get up to 50% off select folders, file cabinets, file boxes, and storage bins. In-store only offer ends $128. Make this year your year with Staples, the working and learning store.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
From the Ingles studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Doug Brown. The medical team treating Bills safety Damar Hamlin has seen signs of improvement, but Hamlin is still in critical condition and in intensive care. Bengals coach Zach Taylor today had words of praise for the first responders after Hamlin collapsed.
For me personally, being down there and seeing the composure that everybody involved had, obviously not knowing how the situation is going to unfold, I was led to believe that it was going to be positive because of how they handled it. And I think that's important to point out that they were prepared and that they gave Damar the best chance.
Bengals coach Zach Taylor. Rookie Sam Howell will be the starting quarterback for the Commanders in their season finale Sunday against the Cowboys. Carson Wentz will be inactive for what will very likely be his last game with the team. Anthony Hudson will coach the U.S. men's soccer team in 2 friendlies later this month. Head coach Greg Berhalter is now being investigated by the Federation regarding a 1991 domestic violence incident. Daniel Reyna, whose son Gio is on the team, contacted the Federation about the incident.
Coming up Thursday, will Aaron Rodgers, yes, that Aaron Rodgers, ever win another Super Bowl? We'll have the answer on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene. Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we're live in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we're seen on YouTube. Every time you hear us here, we'll be right there on the YouTube stream. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Agree, disagree with the power rankings today. Your chance to weigh in the chat. And we've worked our way through the bottom 10. Now it's time for that, what do you always call it? The meaty clacker.
That's correct.
Section of the power rankings. However, now that things have shaken out in the playoff chase, we know half of these teams are not going to make it. At least more than half of these teams not going to make the playoffs. And we'll start at number 22 with
the Carolina Panthers.
Do your growl. There you go. I'm just waiting on the growl. Look, you got some things to work with. You're not like these other teams that we've already talked about that have absolutely no hope. You almost made the playoffs. You almost made the turnaround. But I am going to implore you, do not do the Steve Wilkes thing.
That's why their New Year's resolution is make new friends.
Yes.
I don't care if Steve Wilkes comes back as your coordinator. That's fine. this is a much bigger ask than Steve Wilks. I mean, look, you can't be a defensive guy that comes out with a defensive game plan that is that bad in a make-or-break, do-or-die, win-or-go-home game like that, where Mike Evans just eviscerated you.
As we talked about yesterday on the program, David Tepper has talked to Jim Harbaugh, the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, about the head coaching vacancy. And since then, I have seen some of the dumbest takes out on the internet.
Share.
It's just this thought that I don't want Jim Harbaugh to be our head coach because he can't win the big game.
But nobody can get there.
But you want to trust Steve Wilks to win you the big game.
His career record is 7-21 as a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it was sarcasm.
I understand that. But that's the thing. Is like, oh, well, Jim, maybe he could get us to a Super Bowl, but we couldn't win it. Hey, dum-dum, that's the best your franchise has ever done. I will go 100 times out of 100 for the guy who can get me to the big game over the guy who I have no idea if he can even give me a winning record. I get that the players love him and that you've been caught up in this keep pounding mentality. Oh, it's just Steve Wilks. He brings it to the table. Yes, that is your little mantra, your motto for the team. We appreciate that. But what has that gotten you? Outside of that 1 year with Cam Newton in 2015, where he was unstoppable and got you
to the best defense in the NFL.
Right, and got you to the 15-1 record, and you ended up blowing it in the Super Bowl. Outside of that, the keep pounding mentality is good enough for just mediocre. I'm going to be honest. Name me another time where you felt like you had a Super Bowl caliber team.
I see no lies. I see no lies.
Right, you can't.
Carolina fans, you should be sitting at home every day just hoping, please let it be Jim Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so good.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so good.
I want the proven commodity. I don't want the upstart defensive coordinator interim guy who, by the way, if they don't win this weekend, which they shouldn't, if they don't win this weekend, losing record for him too.
Losing record for him, and what are you going to do at offensive coordinator? I mean, how many young, hotshot offensive coordinators do you think are tying themselves to Steve Wilks? Mm-hmm. Ask yourself that. And who's he worked with? Just go into the relationship path. You're going to be bringing in a new young quarterback one way or the other. Just think about this. Who do you trust to mold your young quarterback? Jim Harbaugh and who he'll bring with him, or Steve Wilks and who he'll bring with him? Not that hard to figure out.
No, it's not. Adam Black said in the comments that he would get it if they went with Steve Wilks, that he's kind of earned it. They're playing harder for him.
How many times have we done that in college, where the loyal, long-time assistant comes in and coaches 4 games, then takes them to a bowl game and they win, and the next year they're 2-10.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can look around and go, oops, shouldn't have done that.
I mean, congratulations. But your wins, I mean, I guess there's something to be said for beating the Seattle Seahawks, who had already started the backslide of their season. You beat the Lions. You ran all over the Lions, and I don't even really know how that happened. But other than that, you beat the Falcons. Yay, the Broncos. Woo.
I don't care who
really
you beat.
has he proved?
I don't care who you beat. Ask yourself this question. Who's a better coach, Steve Wilks or Jim Harbaugh?
It's Jim
If
Harbaugh.
you can get the latter, then we should stop talking about the former.
Yeah, it's Jim Harbaugh, and it's not even close. Carolina Panthers at number 22. Number 21.
The New Orleans Saints. Their New Year's resolution is really simple. Reduce your debt. This is a team that is in the biggest amount of cap hell that I have ever seen in my life. And they've been doing it for a presidential term. I firmly think Sean Payton stepped away to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if you meet his demands, he'll come back. And the next thing you know, this very winnable division, you're better than Atlanta. You're better than Carolina. And Tampa Bay is going to take a nosedive off a cliff. But we'll get to that very soon.
Since we're doing bumper sticker resolutions here, how about reignite an old flame?
It's not bad either.
Yeah. If this is the plan.
By the way, I'm not convinced that's the best thing to do. That's the reason I didn't go with that.
If this is in the works, I 100% think that's the best thing. If he's interested in coming back, Sean Payton is your ticket.
And riddle me this there, Batman. Is there not a high likelihood that you would pay him $100 million in the next 4 years, and the best thing you do is win the division?
Good.
That's where I'm at with Sean Payton, is if I'm going to pay you that much, I expect to be a Super Bowl contender every year.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can coach that. I have no problem with that. I don't know that I can build that with where we're at. I think we're a year away from being a year away there. I can win the division, but I can win the division with a lot of people. Namely, people not named Dennis Allen.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be averse to going the younger route in New Orleans. That's just me.
Okay. Number 20.
The Tennessee Titans.
It's been a disappointing downturn, hasn't it?
Well, Carolina's New Year's resolution was make new friends. Tennessee's is reconcile with an old friend.
Okay.
Ever since I put the Derek Carr, Todd Downing piece together, and yes, they're bringing back Todd Downing. He got a DUI in the season. They didn't fire him. That should tell you everything you need to know. Ever since I put those two pieces together, I can't get away from it. I cannot get away from it. Because I feel like Tennessee, with the assets that they have, the draft capital they have, and the way this class lays out, you can have Traylon Burks in his second year. You can have the back end of Derrick Henry, and you add Derek Carr to that, and now I'm looking around that division going, Indianapolis is at least a year away.
Mm-hmm.
Houston is probably a decade away. And so it's you and the Jaguars. And this is where we're going to be for the next 2 or 3 years. And I can't get away from it.
And the
if
Titans,
this team had a living, breathing quarterback over the last 6 weeks of the season, they'd have won this division in a walk.
If the Jacksonville Jaguars don't win this division,
which they're going to,
or if they do win the division, the Tennessee Titans will have the 11th pick in the draft, and that'll get you Jordan Addison.
Could get you Quentin
Johnson.
I find that to be very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
But it could get you a Jordan Addison. It could get you a Josh Downs.
I mean, that's
you could go the path that I would prefer, which is you draft Michael Mayer, who is without a doubt the best tight end in this class. You add that to Derek Carr. You've got Traylon Burks. Maybe go even keep a Robert Woods because now he's the third best target on this team. And then go get one of these middle round guys like a Rashee Rice or Zay Flowers or somebody like that out of Boston College. And now I'm looking around going, all right, this is an offense.
Yeah, now we have
This
weapons.
is an offense that I can play with and replace Taylor Lewan in the second round. Not because I don't think he's good, but because you can't trust him.
Right.
As soon as he went down, this offense went into the toilet. And it was partially because Malik Willis was playing quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It was also because I don't know that anybody could have won behind how quickly pass rush was getting home.
7-9, a far cry from what we thought the Tennessee Titans were going to be at the beginning of the season. But you got a lot of hope for next year. It's a lot of opportunity for movement. How about that?
Movement. That's an interesting word with our next team.
Number 19.
The New York Jets, Jets. My New York Jets.
Quite the roller coaster your Jets have been on in this power rankings.
Yeah, that's why it's ironic that their New Year's resolution is really simple. Move more and sit less. If you had an offense that could play dead in the Western, you'd be in the playoffs, and I would never have to see that. The New York Jets haven't made the playoffs in 2010 ever again. And yet, this team that I am flying to South Beach to see on Friday can't play offense to save their lives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the solution is. I know what I think it is. And I think it's very simple. I like Robert Saleh a lot. I like Mike LaFleur about as much as I enjoyed having chicken pox. I need him to go away. because he needs to do something with his face. His face is really irking me. Go get the veteran guy. I said this when they hired Robert Saleh. I said it before this year. The thing that scares me, there is no veteran play caller in this entire organization. And that's what you need, and it showed itself. The Mike White thing. Robert Saleh had the cojones to sit down a number 2 pick. And they can give me all of the lip service they want to that we still see him as a part of the franchise. No, you do not. No, you don't. Just start ignoring the question. I know it's New York. No, you don't. You need to go get a veteran offensive play caller. I don't care if Mike LaFleur's on this staff. I understand that would be unheard of for him to be demoted.
Right.
But that's where that's going to go anyway. If he wants to be with Saleh, I get it. He needs somebody that can teach him how to call plays. And they need somebody in that building that understands clock management. And somebody that can develop a quarterback, install this system. I'm fine with the system even. I have to do something in terms of who is calling these plays because you have regressed all year long. You've regressed 2 years in a row. And I don't know that you can win this way. That defense is terrifying. And it's going to get more so because they're going to add a safety over the top, Brian Branch, in the draft. That makes it even more terrifying to try to throw on them. But you've got to do something with that offense.
Yes. And it all starts with the quarterback position.
I don't agree with you.
No.
I think it starts with the offensive coordinator. I think you can win in this league with Mike White. I know what I saw. I went back and watched the tape. He's not healthy. He shouldn't be playing.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're playing him this week, to me, is stupid. This is where you put out Zach Wilson and you say, oh, but has he progressed? Because this is a game that doesn't mean squat. And so you put him out there. You see that nothing has changed.
Yep.
He gets his poor little cherub brains beat out. And in the offseason, you can go, we got to move on.
Yeah. We know nothing's changed. We saw that the last time he played. Mike White maybe shouldn't have been playing last week, but the reason he was playing was because we already saw that nothing's changed with Zach Wilson.
Play Chris Streveler for all I care.
Right.
I would be so much happier with that.
I know.
I'm a stereotypical Jets fan.
I'm with your statement from earlier this week where you said Mike White's a backup.
He's a great backup.
He's a backup. He's a backup. He's a backup.
But here's my point. With that defense, a backup can win games. Sure. I think a backup could get you to the playoffs. Now, can you win anything when you get there? I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, I don't want to see Mike White walk out the door.
I don't think so.
Really, there's not many solutions that I'm completely against in terms of who lines up under center for that team next year, as long as it is not St. Valentine, the cherub, with his bow and arrow and the hearts flying around him, the naked baby Zach Wilson.
He can be a Derek Anderson type backup.
I'd agree with
that.
But
you don't want him to be your guy. And I don't know if your guy's out there. Maybe it is. Maybe he is. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo.
Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. I can list off 50 of them.
Exactly.
I don't care. Pick one, run with it.
Right, absolutely. You are in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's team was at 19. There's another team that's pretty close to the program coming up at 18 right after this.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Interstates are moving well on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Traffic volume is busy and steady. Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue southbound approaching I-40, expect delays. New Leicester Highway, no problems. Biltmore Avenue moving well. Meadow Road, no backups. Amboy Road, incident-free. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 18 minutes. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. This winter, there are new COVID-19 booster shots designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. If it's been at least 2 months since your primary series or original booster, schedule your updated COVID-19 booster dose at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Hey, this is Peter Schrager from the NFL Network's morning show, Good Morning Football. You've also seen me on NFL Sidelines and in studio for Fox Sports on Sunday. Well, I've got a new podcast with iHeart in the NFL, and we're calling it The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to empty my proverbial notebook and take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Some people got COVID and thought, well, that wasn't such a big deal. But you can get COVID again, and next time it could be worse. especially for those 50 and older, or with a chronic condition like heart disease or diabetes. But with an updated vaccine, you have better protection from COVID's worst outcomes. And that's a big deal. Find updated COVID vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can find options that fit your budget, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh yeah, like when I hold the door for someone. Sure, it may be weird if I don't time it right, and they're a little too far away, and now they're running. And we're both asking ourselves, is it worth it to run instead of just, letting them open their own door?
But still, it's the right thing to do. So get options based on your needs with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. We'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Back in the Sportsocracy, Week 18 Power Rankings continue. Number 18.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Our first playoff team of the Power Rankings comes in at number 18, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers resolution, according to Jeremy Greene, is...
adopt an attitude of gratitude.
Ooh.
Don't be sad that it's over. Just be happy that it happened. Because this is going to end horribly badly. You're going to go into the playoffs and get smoked like a summer sausage.
I don't think we are.
Nah, and the fact that you believe that is what makes me so sad.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me sad for you. I almost want to call this game. I think last year we did some lives for games.
We did.
And I think that this might be
we should do a Tampa Bay Dallas Cowboys.
I'll come in
game.
dressed as a cowboy. I'll be the most obnoxious person in the history of time. I'll even get two little toy guns so I can go every time they score, which will be a lot. Be a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you're just not good.
I know.
If you weren't in the worst division in the history of time, you wouldn't even be thinking about the playoffs.
No, nobody from that division should have been thinking about playoffs. But here we had the winner take all last week with the Carolina Panthers, and Tom Brady, Mike Evans, they did their thing in the fourth quarter and got that comeback victory. And now it's just, the fan pages have been so.
You should get off those.
Oblivious, just completely oblivious. The last few days.
If I've learned anything moderating our pages, it's that they're 95% of really good fans, and then there are 5% that are stark raving crazy people, and they're the loudest, and they're on social media the most.
Yeah, that's. I don't feel like it's a majority of Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans that are decent, level-headed when it comes to this. It's all about, Ryan Jensen's coming back, and when Ryan Jensen comes back, then we're going to be, it's going to solve all the problems.
Yeah, he plays nose tackle.
And the offense is, they hit their stride in the fourth quarter against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, against the walking sieve that is C.J. Henderson with your best receiver.
Right.
By the way, hey, Steve Wilkes, Mike Evans is open again Like he's in his house right now.
Always.
He's still open.
Right.
And C.J. Henderson still has absolutely no idea where he is.
Right. Yeah, if we face anybody other than the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs, it's going to be a blowout.
I don't want you to face anyone else just because I want to clip that you just said that and then replay it on repeat the Monday after you get beat 48-6 and we actually visibly get to see Tom Brady cry.
I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly don't. This Dallas Cowboys team, they are that franchise is just notorious for blowing it in the playoffs.
So for some reason, I have this vision of you down by 40 and Tom Brady sitting on the ground after his third interception like a little kid that soiled themselves in the sandbox, just going, I don't know where to go now.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do now? I need a new pair of pantaloons.
Right. I don't know what's worse here. I'm actually kind of surprised that actually no, I'm not. Now that I say it that way, I was gonna say your hatred for Tom Brady is surprising that it's much more than your hatred for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my hatred for Tom Brady will never die, but it's not an active hatred right now because he's completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Completely irrelevant. I could not care. I care more about Geno Smith right now than I do Tom Brady because you're no threat to anybody. I love when he nods like that because it makes it so much more more satisfying when I'm right.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to be right about this one. Number 17.
The New England Patriots.
Why?
Why are they here?
Why are they here? Like, why are you even still a thing? I am so sick of this already. New England was a fun story when they had Tom Brady and they were at the top of the league and they were perennial contenders. Now you're just living in this cesspool of can we make the playoffs on the last weekend of the season? And and
they're not going. I'll go ahead and tell you they're not going.
Good on you, New England Patriots fans. But nobody's happy about this.
No, which is why their New Year's resolution is really simple. Try something new. Matt Patricia, bad.
Yeah.
It's bad, but bad. I'm not sure if he and Mac Jones have to physically get into a fist fight for you to understand that this is bad. But if the offense was even competent, you'd have already locked up a playoff berth.
Mm-hmm.
If it was even competent, you'd already be there.
Yep. But shocker of shockers, the defensive coach is not going to be able to bring your offense to new heights. Or that special teams guy that you tried to give play calling duties to, too.
Joe Judge. You just got to try something new. You got to get Bill outside of his box.
Mm-hmm.
Bill's doing the thing that he does so well. What you have to understand is that he and Bill O'Brien, he and Josh McDaniels that was a nice cohesive. Hey, you handle that offense because it's not my forte. You do that. Me and my son, old num. We got this defense. And Gerard Mayo, the defense is fine.
Yes.
I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's plenty good enough that you should be in the playoffs with all the teams in the AFC that have folded like deck chairs. But your offense is just a joke. I mean, it looks like you're calling plays off Madden 95.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to work in this league.
The problem I have is who wants that? Who wants to come into New England with Bill hanging over your head and Mac Jones as your quarterback?
Bill O'Brien.
Ooh.
Mark my words that I said it. I've heard it for a month solid.
That he'll make his return.
He wants back in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting the calls for college coaching jobs that he thought he would get. Because the problem is he's about as sexy as a tangerine. So you see schools like Colorado that are hiring Deion Sanders. Is Bill O'Brien a better coach than Deion Sanders? Oh, good Lord, yes. Is he a better recruiter?
No.
Not even in the ballpark. Not even we're talking about in the same sentence. Is he as good of a CEO of the program? No. And so Bill is introspective. This, at least is what I've been told. I don't know Bill O'Brien personally, but I've been told this for a solid month. Of he's sitting around going, okay, I've done the Nick Saban rehab process. where I'm getting interviews. The problem is I'm not getting hired. And now I think he introspectively understands I'm an NFL coach, not a college coach. It worked in Penn State, reasonably.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need personnel control, ever. But can he come into the NFL and deal with Mac Jones and deal with Ramondre Stevenson? There are pieces on that team. That offensive line's not bad either. But you got to have an offensive mind calling these scripts. There's a reason that nobody else has ever done that. And it's always been my drawback on Bill. Bill believes he is the smartest person on the planet Earth. And there are times that his ego gets the best of him, which is why he has 6 rings instead of 9, because he easily could have.
It's time to get weird here on the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Normally, when you look at award shows and stuff, I mean, yes, they still do award shows. I know none of us watch them, but they still do the award shows, and those still mean something to those who get nominated. And normally when it comes that time, you see all of these campaigns for certain actors or movies or what have you that are, hey, this was really good. We want you to vote for it. This needs to be a finalist. This needs to get some more attention. Well, a different kind of announcement was released on social media today by Hugh Jackman, who's taken more shots at his good friend Ryan Reynolds, because he got word that the Oscars, the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences Board or whatever, that they have shortlisted the Good Afternoon song from that new Christmas movie with him and Will Ferrell, with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell, called Spirited. The funniest song. We watched it over the holiday break. I thought it was fantastic. It is a musical, so no Jeremy Seacrest out on that.
The only word I even heard was musical, and I'm already out.
The number one song, though, the top song in that whole ensemble is a song called Good Afternoon, and it is absolutely hilarious. But they've shortlisted the song to be up for what? What are you laughing at?
Satisfied Browns fan in the comments said, "You're dressed like the manager at Freddy's Frozen Custard." I can't stop laughing.
That's the reason that I wore the Bucky shirt today. Because y'all keep making fun of my damn hat like I've been working at a gas station or something. So when
He's wearing his Georgia Bulldogs gas station Citgo attendant hat with his Bucky shirt. No, I can't see it.
Anyhow, they have shortlisted the Good Afternoon song for, best song in a movie this year. And Hugh Jackman has put out the video asking, please, dear God, do not nominate Ryan Reynolds in this song because, well, frankly, I'm going to have to work with him for the next year. They're doing another Wolverine movie. They're doing Deadpool 3 together. And he says, no matter what you do not do this. This is going to make my life insufferable if you give Ryan Reynolds an Oscar. I'll be honest with you. I think he kind of deserves it. I didn't know Ryan Reynolds could sing like that. And I will say, even I think you, Jeremy, can get some enjoyment out of that musical.
Nope, there's words that I've never said. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even hear the story because I kept waiting for you to turn on pump 3 and let me get my $20 of gas. A McDonald's customer wanted to know what would happen if you ordered air on DoorDash. Have you ever thought about this? What if you placed an order for a burger and then you took all the things off? Because DoorDash has that element where you take whatever comes in the dish and then you take everything off. Well, he tried it. His name is Anthony Jajola, and he ordered an air burger from McDonald's. What do you think happened?
I don't know.
They charged him $2.09 for his burger with nothing.
Okay.
No bun, no burger, no cheese, no nothing.
Okay.
They added on a service fee, a delivery fee, and taxes, which cost him more than $10. So they charged him over $12 for nothing. The driver came to the McDonald's. They informed the driver that there was nothing to pick up. Then the driver went to his house to deliver nothing.
That's awesome.
They showed up to deliver nothing. And it was in a winter storm, too.
Do you have an empty bag?
No, there's just nothing. Like, they just showed up like, I had to be pinged here for them to pay me. So here I am with your nothing. Bye-bye now.
I would have at least taken him a bag.
Oh, I think that would have been funnier.
Just an empty bag. Here you go. Here's
a
your
bag
burger.
with an empty wrapper. That would have been funnier. DoorDash, do better.
Yeah. Missed opportunity there.
I order more meals through DoorDash and Grubhub and all those other things than have been cooked in my kitchen by a staggering multiplier.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Uber Eats, you just get 40% off because you're alive. Like, here's 40% off. And I know they inflate the price. I'm well aware of that. I can do math, okay? I also am an inquisitive that's very good with numbers and have gone to each of these individual restaurants and figured out what my order cost and figured out how much it cost with a good tip to get it brought to my house, and it's cheaper that way.
Yep.
Which is why I don't go to places anymore.
Just stay at home and have it all delivered.
Literally the only in-public place, and I'm not saying this because they sponsor us, I'm saying it because it's true. The only in-public place that I have been in the last 3 weeks is Ingles and the Village Porch. That is it. End of message. Repeat the line. Everything else has been brought to my house.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Week 18 Power Rankings will continue next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Most of the big weather stayed south of the state line. Out in South Carolina, we've got hit-and-miss thunderstorms as a cold front comes through tonight. And then we sound the all clear overnight tonight. Turning cooler late week here in Asheville. 37 our low Thursday morning. Sunshine Thursday, cooler, high 56, low 32 tomorrow night. And then Friday's high temp in the upper 40s, upper 20s Friday night, Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Patton Avenue southbound approaching I-40. Traffic is very busy. Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Charlotte Highway, no backups. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time 18 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We could talk about how complicated other banks make it to redeem credit card rewards. Or we could talk about how with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs. How Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
We're back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy and the Week 18 Power Rankings and the 2023 resolutions for all of the teams. Continues here with number 16 this week.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, the end of the season has gone exactly how Jeremy Greene laid out that it would.
Hi, friends.
That the just Charmin soft schedule that the Pittsburgh Steelers had at the end of the year has turned into 6 out of 8 wins, or 6 wins out of 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
And they control their own destiny. You win this weekend, and you're in the playoffs.
No, they need somebody to lose.
Do they?
New England's the one that controls their own destiny.
Okay, excuse me. Okay.
I think they need New England to lose.
Should somehow the Buffalo Bills lose,
which is not going to happen,
to the New England Patriots after what just happened.
Oh yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, they're going to be hurting people's feelings.
They could beat New England 42-0. It wouldn't shock me in the least.
Absolutely. So anyway, Pittsburgh win. You're more than likely in because New England's probably going to lose and lose badly to the Buffalo Bills.
And that preface leads me to their New Year's resolution, which is remember your goals and the big picture.
Okay.
This is best case scenario for you. You lost your best player for an extended period of the season. You have several holes on this roster, but you've seen some development in Kenny Pickett. I can't tell you that I don't still have reservations about is he the guy, but he's a guy that can obviously move this offense. You've got holes to fix. But what happens when you do? He's played well enough with the holes. You get the offensive line fixed. You get some problems in that secondary fixed. It's going to be a scary team next year. I mean, best case scenario this year, you back into the playoffs and get slaughtered in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's 6 one way and a half dozen the other. I saw Patrick Holt took a shot at me about, well, the Bucs are in the playoffs and the Jets aren't. I would so much rather be the New York Jets right now than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that it's not even close.
Right.
I mean, if you've listened to this show for any period of time, you know I'm not the, hey, we made the playoffs. Well, you got beat 45-3. Oh. I'd rather just miss the playoffs personally, but
for Pittsburgh.
But for Pittsburgh, making the playoffs would be an absolute aberration. And I feel like you're headed down the right path. And surprise, surprise, Mike Tomlin has done that.
Mm-hmm.
The most unappreciated the most underappreciated coach in NFL history, and I don't even think it's all that close.
Pittsburgh sits at 8-8 after starting out. What was it? 2-8, I think was their record at one point. And now you're 8-8, and you're staring the playoffs in the face. Mike Tomlin already will not have a losing or could have a losing season, but that means they would have to lay an egg against the Browns, and I don't really see that happening. So here you go again, another 8-8 or better season for Mike Tomlin as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Weird. I think some wise man told you that long before it ever happened.
Mm-hmm. Number 15.
The Seattle Sea Chickens. Their New Year's resolution is quite simple. Perfect one recipe. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. Geno Smith, don't give him $35 million. That's stupid. But he made a Pro Bowl. I don't care. The Russell Wilson thing should be bearing out. The way Seattle is built, I don't have to have a Pro Bowl level quarterback. Find a way to get Geno Smith back in the building. Whether that's for a year, 3 years, I don't really care. You're going to have a top 3 pick, period.
Mm-hmm.
You just had probably the best draft I've ever seen a team have in the now 12 years that I've been doing this. Perfect this one thing that you're doing, because even with talent deficiency, you are either going to make the playoffs or just miss it. Just lather, rinse, repeat. Keep doing the same thing you're doing and perfect this. Because you're obviously doing it at a level that nobody else is. Outside of Jordan Brooks, name me a player on that defense that you go, oh, yeah, he'd be a starter everywhere, other than Tariq Woolen.
I was going to say that's probably the only one. Jamal Adams, when he's
who hasn't played
I get it.
in 15 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And think about this. You get him back next year. You're either going to have Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. Oh, yeah, that's going to take this defense to a next step.
Right. I don't know. The way that the season has ended, though, I mean, does that not give you reservations about Geno moving forward?
No. You need another weapon. I mean, outside of Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, nothing's consistent. You need Kenny Walker to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You probably need to work on the inside of that line a little bit. But Kenny Walker hit a rookie wall. Then he missed a couple weeks, and all of a sudden he came back, and oh, look, Kenny Walker's good again. Having Kenny Walker and Rashad Penny is going to be a very dynamic backfield. And you look at how much talent they're bringing back. Let me go ahead and I'll call a shot in January. Whatever their win futures is for next year, I'm taking the over. Unless Vegas does something completely stupid, which they very rarely ever do.
I was going to say probably won't. It'll be right around 9.
8.5.
Yeah.
They always have halves.
Number 14.
The New York Giants. And this one's simple. Take time to appreciate your accomplishments. This is a far better team than anybody could have thought. If you remember, we said this team's it won't win another game, they're going to miss the playoffs. Well, they certainly regressed, and they almost missed the playoffs, but they didn't.
No. They came up with 2 clutch wins here in the last couple of weeks, and they clinched a playoff berth. First time since, 2016?
It had been a while. They're on that graphic with us. I've seen that logo a lot. But now you're in the playoffs with Daniel Jones. You're in the playoffs with Saquon Barkley. I've already heard that those two will be brought back at the right price. No more. They're not going to try to undershoot them, but they're not going to overpay.
Mm-hmm.
And then just go get some receivers. You've got enough young talent here that this roster 2 years from now will be really good. And you made the playoffs with it young.
Yep. You got the coach of the year in the NFL. It's not been decided, but I'm pretty sure that's how that's going to go down.
If it's not, there should be riots.
And this game doesn't really matter this week. Facing the Philadelphia Eagles, at this point, it's just
and there's nothing they can do. They're going to be the 6th seed.
No, they are the 6th seed. They're locked in. There's nothing they can do. They say they're not going to rest anybody. They say they're,
Vegas
they're just
vehemently disagrees.
They're just going to go in as normal. I don't think I disagree with that plan.
Vegas vehemently disagrees. They are a 14.5-point dog. And I don't disagree. I think Philadelphia is going to just bludgeon them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so Daniel Jones comes out and plays a quarter, you're down 14-0. What do you do then? Tyrod.
Yep.
All the backups.
Yep.
The route is on. That's exactly how Vegas thinks this is going to go.
As it should. As it should.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. You should be there's no team in the NFL that should be happier with where they are right now than the New York Giants. And at the rate you've been drafting, I mean, just think about this. Andrew Thomas was a disaster his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
Then you remember the left side. You realize that he's borderline all-pro?
Yes.
You got that with Evan Neal, with Kayvon Thibodeau, all these other pieces that you've drafted. You should be very content with where you're at.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville. Inside the Ingles studio. Next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Merriman Avenue and Montford Avenue. Patton Avenue southbound, approaching I-40, traffic is backing up. Smoky Park Highway, no problems at this time. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. Charlotte Highway, no backups. Tunnel Road, incident-free. And Swannanoa River Road moving well. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. We could talk about how complicated other banks make it to redeem credit card rewards. Or we could talk about how with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
Stock up and save big now on appliances and more at the Truckload event at Lowe's. For a limited time only, get up to an additional $600 off select major appliances and instant savings from top brands like Whirlpool and Frigidaire. Plus, get store-wide savings on even more items that you need. Head to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowe's.com to shop the Truckload event today. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Valid 12/29 through 1/4.
All the radio stations you love, every playlist to match your mood, the podcasts that everyone's talking about. If it's on the iHeartRadio app, it's free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
It is the final week of the regular season in the NFL. Week 18 is upon us. Yes, we may or may not have more action to go, as the NFL still has not announced any decisions, and we won't hear anytime soon, I don't think, about what's going to happen for the Buffalo Bills-Cincinnati Bengals game that had to be postponed and suspended on Monday night. We're continuing to try to follow the Damar Hamlin story, his progress in the hospital as he tries to recover from that cardiac arrest incident on Monday Night Football. Some positive signs have been reported over the last 18 hours, and we're hoping that we will get more news on more good news on the next update as to his recovery there at UC Medical Center.
If you're a fantasy manager that's looking how to try to figure out your leagues, go to my Twitter.
Yes.
If you have a huge objection with that solution, read the last 3 words over and over and over again.
Yes, indeed. Find better friends.
Correct.
It is Week 18, and the power rankings unfolding here in the Ingles studio. We're up to number 13.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Remember, I said this yesterday. Remember that time I was like, are you sure they're not the best team in the league?
And I went,
yes,
no,
Tank.
I'm very sure they're not the best team in the league.
And it has only proven itself over the last 4 weeks. They've lost 2 out of 4. They lost to the Detroit Lions. They lost in embarrassing fashion last week to the Green Bay Packers. And I have no faith in this team going into the playoffs.
Their New Year's resolution for me is very simple. Practice the do-it-now rule. This is for people that procrastinate.
Okay.
Don't procrastinate on Kirk Cousins. He's not your guy. He's not. He's not your guy. And I cannot emphasize that enough. If you look at that schedule, he's had 3 god-awful games this year. Who are they against? 3 best teams they played all year. You are in the definition of NFL purgatory because this team is older and it's limited. Are they ever going to be better than San Francisco?
No.
No. Are they going to be better than Philadelphia?
No.
Are they going to be better than the Dallas Cowboys?
No.
Detroit Lions?
No.
Green Bay Packers?
No.
Okay. So you're New York Giants, Seattle Seahawks. I keep doing that, actually.
But we won the division. Yeah, you won the division.
So did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
You're just capped. And look, when Justin Jefferson gets paid, and trust me, it's coming, and it's going to be a lot.
Largest contract ever.
For a non-quarterback.
Right.
Everything gets tighter. And this team has not drafted particularly well at times. Some of the good's been very good. Some of the bad's been very bad. And you're in line for a roster turnover. I just think you're capped with Kirk Cousins. He's getting older. He's expensive. Practice the do-it-now rule.
Interesting. So just rip the Band-Aid off and move on? Is that what you're saying?
Largely because I think there are a slew of quarterbacks that are younger, cheaper, that you can get the same result out of. I mean, Kirk Cousins has been very good at times. He's also been absolutely dreadful at others.
But is there that guy out there? Not named Derek Carr?
I could see a slew of them. Derek Carr's one. I mean, this is going to be an upheaval year at quarterback, and there are multiple teams that would give you multiple pieces for Kirk Cousins.
Number 12.
The Miami Dolphins.
Remember when I said this is a streaky team, and it would not surprise me at all to see them go on a historic losing streak to end the season?
Second year in a row.
Yep. And here we are. Here you are, the Miami Dolphins. They want to play good. They try to play good. They don't play good.
Their New Year's resolution, look into buying local. The depth on this team is absolutely a joke in places. Why do I say buy local? For people that don't know, around the NFL draft, teams that don't have a lot of draft capital start bringing in a lot of undrafted free agents that tend to be from colleges very close to them because they know them very well. You're going to have to do a lot of that because this is a team that is very expensive with a quarterback that I don't think you can move off of. Unless Tua retires, I don't think you can move off of him. And you just go down the rabbit hole, and it's a whole lot of, yeah, but. Yeah, this team is talented, but I got a quarterback that can't stay healthy. Yeah, this team's good, but I got a coach that I don't know that I believe in at all. It's a talented team, but I'm not going to be shocked if they lose to my Jets and miss the playoffs.
You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville Sports Center. Coming up next, and then it'll be time for the top part of the league. 11-1 coming your way next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Most of the big weather stayed south of the state line. Down in South Carolina, we've got hit-and-miss thunderstorms as a cold front comes through tonight. And then we sound the all clear overnight tonight. Turning cooler late week here in Asheville. 37 our low Thursday morning. Sunshine Thursday, cooler, high 56, low 32 tomorrow night. And then Friday's high temp in the upper 40s, upper 20s Friday night, Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Merriman Avenue and Montford Avenue. Patton Avenue southbound, approaching I-40, traffic is backing up. Smoky Park Highway, no problems at this time. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. Charlotte Highway, no backups. Tunnel Road, incident-free. And Swannanoa River Road moving well. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in 2 bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Save now on appliances and more at the Truckload event at Lowe's. Right now, get a 15-quart Project Source storage tote for free when you buy a 66-quart storage tote. Shop the Truckload event in-store or online today. Exclusions apply while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details. Valid 12/29 through 1/4.
From the Ingles studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Bills safety Damar Hamlin is still in critical condition, but the team announced today that he's showing signs of improvement. More reaction from around the league today as well. Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett.
Damar, he's an unbelievable person. Does so much for the community. A guy from Pittsburgh, stayed home. Could have went anywhere he wanted to. Stayed home, and we had a great run together. And he had an unbelievable career at Pitt. Captains together in 2020. Just an all-around, great person, great family.
Kenny Pickett. Hamlin will stay in a Cincinnati intensive care unit as his treatment continues. Bears quarterback Justin Fields is out of the season finale against the Vikings with a hip injury. Nathan Peterman will start. Fields will end his season 64 yards short of breaking Lamar Jackson's single-season quarterback rushing record. ESPN's Chris Lowe reports former Arkansas and Louisville head coach Bobby Petrino will be the new offensive coordinator under Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. LeBron James will miss tonight's Lakers game against the Heat because of a non-COVID-related illness. He's put up back-to-back 40-point games since his 38th birthday.
Coming up Thursday, will Aaron Rodgers, yes, that Aaron Rodgers, ever win another Super Bowl? We'll have the answer on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. That's check. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen. He's useless. But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene. Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and it is a Power Rankings Wednesday here inside the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link for the YouTube stream. Every time that we're live here on the radio, we are seen on YouTube.
So, and you, too, can see Captain Bucky's.
That's right. That's right. My new Bucky's T-shirt. It was a Christmas present.
I actually like the Bucky shirt. It's the mix with the hat.
And that's why I wore the hat, because you guys made fun of me saying, oh, he looks like he works at a self-serve gas station. So I wore my gas station T-shirt to the program today. We're wearing the same hat. Me and old Bucky. I guess that's his name.
You're wearing the same hat as the beaver.
Yeah, that's right. So you can see us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat, and it is another day of just playing the waiting game, trying to find out what the latest news on Damar Hamlin's status is right now as he tries to recover from the cardiac arrest episode on Monday Night Football. I will say this, though. The charity continues to just rake in the money.
I think it's $6.6 million.
Chasing M's Foundation has now gotten more than $6.6 million donated to the cause. And here's the thing, like, normally I don't do this. Normally I just leave, donations out there to be, you gave to the charity. You don't really need to shout your name out. But top donation right now is from Jim Irsay and the Indianapolis Colts. $25,000 they gave to the charity. Actually, $25,003. I don't understand why you do that. Like, why
number.
$3? Oh, okay. See, now that makes sense because there's a lot of these. Sheets Laundry Club, $25,003 as well. Robert Kraft and the New England Patriots gave $18,003. Matthew Stafford's now on the top donors list, giving $12,000. The New Era Cap Foundation gave $10,003. The Houston Texans, $10,003. Russell and Sierra, they gave $10,000. Tom Brady gave $10,000 yesterday. These are all new donations within the last 24 hours to the Chasing M's Foundation. So it's great to see so many people and so many influential people as well giving the outpouring of support to Damar Hamlin and his charity in the wake of the tragedy on Monday night. Good signs have been reported, like I said, over the last 18 hours, and we're hoping for more good news on that front. And if we hear anything else before the program ends today, we will definitely bring you that update on Damar Hamlin as it stands right now. We are in the midst of the Week 18 Power Rankings, final week of the regular season, and we're doing New Year's resolutions for each and every team as we climb our way to the top, to the number one team as it stands in the NFL, and we're up to number 11.
The Green Bay Packers.
This team, I left it for dead, and I still don't have any real hopes for this team.
Oh, I do.
You do.
Oh, I will.
You think they can make a run here? They can make it back to
You need some help.
The conference championship game?
Oh, I have a little more faith than you do.
Really?
Was it 3-4 weeks ago? I said, you watch, Aaron Rodgers has figured this out.
Mm-hmm.
What's happened since then? This has been like a water ride at an amusement park. You will get wet. You may get soaked. You will get beat. You may get tortured. Minnesota. They find a way to get Minnesota in the first round. They will beat them silly sideways. Their 2023 New Year's resolution, volunteer more often. Do you not think, Mr. Aaron, that if you had come to minicamp and maybe done all of those voluntary things, maybe this would have happened a little earlier? Maybe you wouldn't be destined basically to play the San Francisco 49ers in the first round? Maybe you'd figure this out a week or two earlier. Maybe, we do these things for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for our health, I promise you that. I have a much better faith in this team than you do.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, I like Aaron Rodgers. I always have, always respected the game. He's a little weird, a little quirky, which you all know me. I kind of like that as well. But I just look at this team and go, you're not going to do anything. You get into the playoffs, and okay, so you do get matched up with the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, you can win that game. And then what? Do I think you're going to go beat San Francisco?
As the 7th seed, you'd be guaranteed to play Philadelphia.
And I don't like your chances in that one either.
I don't hate it as much as I did 3 weeks ago. I don't hate it nearly as much as I did 3 weeks ago. Just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. I told you they were going to go on a run. I wasn't sure they were going to make the playoffs. I thought they might be too far back.
Mm-hmm. But they weren't.
But you throwing dirt on because they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to beat Detroit.
Yes.
There is nothing I am more confident about in Week 18 than that the Green Bay Packers beat Detroit.
3 times in his career, Aaron Rodgers has gone into the last weekend of the season with a win or go home mentality. Would you like to know how many of those times he's left without a win?
0.
0. Beat the Bears twice and beat the Lions once on the last week of the season to make it into the playoffs. So, you got to give him credit. for making it, turning the season around after we didn't think there was going to be much hope for that. And maybe next year will be better. Maybe you will be the team we thought you would be all season long next year. But I still don't like your chances to make a deep run.
I don't want to play him. I can tell you definitively, I don't want to play him in the least.
Mm-hmm. At number 10.
The team they play this week, the Detroit Lions. Do I think Green Bay's better than them right now? I do.
Mm-hmm.
If I take the whole season on the whole, can I say that until they beat them? No, I cannot.
Already lost to the Detroit Lions once. So you got to prove that you made a step forward, and we all believe that they have.
Oh, no doubt. That's why their New Year's resolution, be consistent. You need to go to Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson and all of the different pieces of this coaching staff and just go, about a little pay raise. Maybe we keep you from sniffing out other opportunities.
Right.
Because I won't be shocked if Ben Johnson gets a head coaching job. But if you can bring this entire staff back intact with that high-level pick that you're going to get from the Rams and your own pick and your own offseason, this has got to be a team. If you're a free agent, you're looking around going, I could do worse.
Mm-hmm.
I could do worse than going to play in that offense with a tremendous offensive line, a lot of nice pieces on the defense. You have to be more consistent defensively.
Yep.
You have missed a couple guys, but Aiden Hutchinson, yeah, he's pretty good.
And that's what I would be doing with my draft picks, is just loading up the defense with talent.
I would to a point,
because I think the offense is good.
It is, but I need a couple vets on that defense. I can't just throw 7 more rookies on that defense and go, I figured it out.
No.
Well, every mock draft I've done, that's what every Lions fan wants me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just completely ignore the offense. I think that's a bad call. I really do. I think it's a bad call.
Mm-hmm.
I want a couple more pieces, young guys, and then I want some vets.
What pieces would you add to the offense?
I mean, you're going to need another receiver. Jameson Williams, I had a few reservations about him going in. You're going to have to replace Hawkinson. I don't know that you can go into next year counting on DeAndre Swift.
Mm-hmm.
He's lived hurt. I mean, he's a nice piece, but you have to know he's limited to about 8 to 10 to 12 touches a game.
We got formerly fat Jamal Williams.
But you can't count on him to be what he was this year. I mean, there is a regression coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not huge pieces. It's just rounding things off.
No doubt those first-round picks need to be defense, though, right?
It depends on how the board falls.
6 and 17?
It depends on how the board falls. I mean, I would say yes, but it very much depends on how the board falls.
Yeah, I think that's where you look to start out. Yeah, because I don't think one of those quarterbacks is going to fall in your lap.
Look, this is a one will. I would probably be looking to move down personally, but this is a weird class. We're going to be doing a lot of draft stuff starting next week. There are 4 tiers in the first round. Don't reach, and that's another thing I'd be screaming to Detroit: add talent.
Mm-hmm.
You have good talent now. You just need more.
Number 9,
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Still feels weird to say it.
It's true. They're going to house the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh, but Derrick Henry's going to play. Don't care.
Mm-mm.
Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. One of these teams is coming in just fire hot. The other is coming in ice cold. And it's in Jacksonville.
Yep. They cannot.
And I get Trevor Lawrence and you get Josh Dobbs.
It'd be one thing if Tennessee could stop them. But they can't.
And they can't.
Especially the way Trevor Lawrence has been playing. In the last 8 weeks of the season, he is the best quarterback in the NFL, statistically speaking. When you take into completion percentage and quarterback rating and all of those things, all those different analytics things that Jeremy loves, he is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Which is why their New Year's resolution is take time for self-care. You've got pretty much all the talent that you need. Round some things off. I really liked it when Quentin Johnson was going to wind up with his team. Well, that's not going to happen now. I feel like you need just pieces. but you really need to develop these guys that you've already drafted and drafted well. You overdrafted Trayvon Walker. There is no doubt about that, and no one will ever convince me otherwise. If they had to do all over again, Aiden Hutchinson would be the call. Because you'd have him and Josh Allen on each side of each other for the next 10 years. And that's a tremendous pass rush. But you've taken a lot of guys that are raw. Devin Lloyd has regressed the vast majority of this year. He looked like a Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate in the first month. He has been a disaster at times since. But there's still talent there. And you got to remember that. Before you go free spending like the Jacksonville Jaguars do, maybe just look at what you got in-house and develop that.
But did they have that kind of money next year?
No.
I didn't.
They couldn't go on another spending spree like that. But they could start diving into a lot of times teams like this, they will overachieve, and then they feel like they have to get splashy. And no, just develop what you have. I know some of these guys haven't been as good as you thought, but give it time. Don't try to jump in line. You've already jumped in line. You're going to win this division, and you're better than anybody could possibly have ever thought. Just understand you're a year ahead of schedule, and don't try to jump again.
Yes.
Your play on the field can jump you. When the front office starts trying to jump you, that's when you wind up with albatross contracts and giving up on players too early.
I think Doug Peterson was the right call for this franchise.
No
when they made
doubt.
It. And now I'm going to expect this team to be a contender 2 years from now. I mean, actual Super Bowl.
I think they're a contender next year.
Really? I don't know. I mean, no doubt playoff team, head of that division, all of that.
Let me ask you a question.
But
Name me a team with a quarterback this good that's not a contender.
It's true. I just don't know if I can put you in that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen category.
He's right behind it, going into a third year, which is traditionally where you see the biggest jump.
Yeah.
Usually the second year is the clunky one. You're looking at a kid that's you're already scratching the surface of that top tier, and the jump year's next year.
Yep. All right, at number 9, it is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 8 will be coming your way next right here on ESPN Asheville in the Week 18 Power Rankings.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Haywood County 40 eastbound stop and go between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Patton Avenue southbound is crawling between North Bear Creek Road and I-40. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, no backups. Long Shoals Road, no incidents. Checking the drive time from Black Mountain to Old Fort via 40 eastbound. Drive time 11 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in 2 bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs. How Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It's ESPN Asheville Week 18 Power Rankings. Rolling on here. Number 8.
The Baltimore Ravens.
I just don't know what to think of this team. This was the team that I picked at the beginning of the season to win the Super Bowl. I feel like should they have been healthy all year, or could they have been healthy all year, maybe they'd be in that discussion. But they're not there. And even when Lamar Jackson has played, I haven't felt like this offense has been great. I know that's been the biggest knock on Baltimore lately is, this offense is just so bad without Lamar Jackson. It's actually not that much better with him, or hasn't been this year anyway. I don't know what to think about them. They got so far ahead that they're in the playoffs. They're never in danger of falling out of the playoffs.
Their New Year's resolution is really simple. Take more frequent breaks. You need to take much better care of yourself. Injuries have killed this team for what feels like 10 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are we going to get into load management with the Baltimore Ravens?
I'm not going that far. But there's no team in the NFL that their offseason interests me more than Baltimore.
Well, yeah, because they have a huge decision to make on their quarterback.
Well, that's franchise tag. I already know where that's going. There is zero doubt in my mind he's going to get franchised. It's what you do around him that really intrigues me. Where do the draft picks go? Where are the free agency dollars spent? I mean, because this is a team that's got some cap issues. Who comes back? Who doesn't? This is a really intriguing team. And offensive coordinator. For the 7th year in a row, or at least what feels like that many.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here again, begging you to fire Greg Roman.
Yes.
I don't care who calls the offense. Now, I'll go on a limb. I'll call the offense. I don't care. I don't think I can physically be worse than Greg Roman has been at times.
Jeremy says he'll do it. I don't know. I mean, do you have a lot of hopes for this team to make a playoff run?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't the only one looking at that in that sense of, okay, Lamar, if he's healthy and he's ready to come back, which, I mean, I hope he is.
He didn't practice today, but it's been now 31 days since he got hurt.
But what's the point? What's the point in playing him?
Oh, you can still win the division. And that's the point in playing him. No, I mean, because you want to talk about
the home game. Yeah.
I mean, if they have a home game, then yeah, I think they can beat whoever winds up being the 6th seed in the AFC, which would be the Chargers. I could see them beat the Chargers in Baltimore. Now, conversely, if they're the 5 and they have to go to Jacksonville, yay. I don't like that as much.
Right. But they need help to do it.
Yes.
Cincinnati's got to lose for them to win the division.
Well, that's who they play. Baltimore and Cincinnati play each other.
Oh, that's right. I did that earlier when we were talking. Who was it? Oh, we were talking about Detroit and Green Bay. I did that earlier.
Usually if I say they have to win and there's a team they're tied with, probably means they're playing them.
Probably means they're playing
because
each
they
other.
all play division games in the last week of the season.
Right. But I don't see that happening.
I really don't either.
So it is what it is. I think it's proved that you got to keep Lamar around. Franchise tag obviously has got to be the best.
That's
scenario.
the only path. It's the only path. There is no other path for that because you can't give him the committed money right now.
No.
He's been hurt 3 years in a row.
Yeah. So Baltimore Ravens number 8. That brings us to number 7.
The Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys. What's their New Year's resolution?
Learn a new language. Other than being loud and obnoxious and
they don't have another level though.
No, and that's the thing. I'm going to say something, and I've thought this for a long time, but I don't know that you always talk about my conspiracy theories or whatever it is. I'm not so sure that the fan base is not what does this to the Cowboys. The fact that you actually think your Buccaneers could beat them is the most laughably insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought there was nobody on the planet that talks into a microphone for a living that was more down on the Cowboys than me. They will blow you out. They're the third best team in the NFC.
Okay.
I bounced between like 7 numbers there, so
I was gonna say that sounded like you were almost at a stroke.
Yeah, it was. I was letting air out of the tire because I couldn't figure out what number I was going to say. It was either 3 or 4. I didn't know which one. I mean, do I think they would get smoked by San Francisco? Yes, I do. I think they would get beat in the playoffs by Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who else do I feel good about beating them? I think Green Bay would, no matter where it was, but that's not in the cards. That's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is they're going to get you. And then based on where things go from there, they either have to beat Philadelphia or San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're doing either one of those things. But if something went awry and, say, San Francisco lost or whatever the case may be, and they caught anybody else, yeah, you're probably going to the NFC title game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that any of these teams would even give you a run for your money. And then you would go play Philadelphia and get just smoked.
Right.
But yeah, that's
so basically your resolution is just what? Calm down?
Yes. The fan base loses their minds. And I feel like it puts an added layer of pressure on this team. And then they go to the playoffs with a mediocre quarterback, one really just supremely talented receiver. And the expectation is so high that no matter what they do, it's a letdown. And there are Cowboys fans that literally think they're the best team in the NFL.
Yes.
Which is hilarious to me. There are media members that think they're in the top 3 or 4 in the NFL, which is hilarious to me. If you have them in the top 5, I think you're out of your mind. I also look at it and go, if you have them beyond 8, you're probably equally
You're
out
just
of
a
your
Cowboy.
mind.
Yeah, you're just a Cowboy hater at that point.
Yeah. But you've got to stop heaping pressure on these guys. Because at the end of the day, they're not elite. They're very good.
It's never going to stop, especially when you have an owner that puts that. I mean, he feeds the narrative.
Who do you think I was talking to?
Right. I mean, that's why the fan base is so irrational. It's because Jerry Jones is the one out there planting those little seeds of, oh, we're a Super Bowl team. I mean, I get having confidence in your boys, but there's a difference between, I guess, reasonable expectation and carnival barking. And that's all that Jerry Jones is. It's just the carnival barker.
You remember the segment in Saturday Night Live with Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley where they were Chippendales dancers?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are the Chris Farley character of, you got a lot of bravado here, and you got some moves, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, no,
You're not built for prime time.
But you're not Patrick Swayze.
Right.
So let's maybe calm down just a hair. All be hunky-dunky.
All right, we are up to the top 6 of the Week 18 power rankings here in the Sportsocracy. We'll continue the countdown.
There would be a countdown, yes.
Yeah, coming up in just a moment. But first, it's time for the most important message of the day. Which, as always, Jeremy, is...
Don't do crimes!
Yeah. Don't do crimes. I love stories about people misusing the 911 system. When we were all like teeny tiny little people, we were taught the 911 system. If mommy and daddy have an accident, you should pick up the phone and call 911 in case of an what?
Emergency.
In an emergency.
And just since you said that way, as somebody that is really tech savvy, but I'm also a really poor sleeper, it's easier to call 911 from your cell phone than I ever thought, because that's something I accidentally did over the little vacation, because I was trying to shut my alarm off because it was there's an emergency call thing. Well, there's a call thing on the side that if you just hit the same button like 100 times, it'll call that. Wow. I found that out the hard way.
Wow.
I woke up, there's an operator that's like, "What's your emergency?" And I went, "That I called you. That's my emergency. That's my emergency.
Did not mean to do that.
Did not mean to do that.
I apologize. Well, shocker of shockers, 911 got a phone call down in Polk County, Florida, and they had to investigate because when the operator picked up, no one was there. No one was speaking. Like, they could hear ambient noise, but no one spoke. So, Jeremy, we've learned this. When 911 accidentally gets called up here at the radio station, what happens?
The police show up.
The police show up. So the police, they track this number. They pinged this device. I don't know how they called, but they called 911. They pinged them to the address, and the cops went, "Nobody lives at that house. That's weird." So they went to investigate. They show up. There's a man and a woman there, and they're moving stuff out of the house. And they said, "What's the deal? Y'all called 911? Is everybody okay?" And the woman said, "Yeah, everything's fine. I had called because I wanted to see if you guys could help." And they were like, "Well, we're here to protect and serve. What do you need?" "Well, we need help moving the stuff out of the house." "Excuse me?"
Could you come again for Judge Fudge?
And yeah, while you're at it, I don't know if this is verbatim, but this is how it plays out in my head. While you're at it, helping us move the stuff out of the house, if you could give us a ride to the airport, because we really want to spend the weekend in New York. And so,
please tell me they arrested these people.
They did. But do you know why?
Being stupid.
It wasn't their house. They were burglarizing the house, and the dumb woman called 911 to get the cops to help them move all the crap out of the house.
Okay. That went from you went from just stupid person to stupid criminal, like that.
Indeed. They were burglarizing the house, and she calls to see if the cops could help them move the stuff out of the house. And yes, she did say, "We would really like to go to New York for the weekend, so if you could give us a ride to the airport, that'd be great." Well, the Facebook page of the Polk County Sheriff's Department had a little fun with this, saying, "Well, you know what? We did end up giving them a ride along with their belongings
to the jail."
Yes, to the Polk Pokey. And they are welcome to stay there all weekend long. The Polk Pokey, much better than New York anyway. So good for the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
I'm going to disagree with that last statement.
It's better than New York anyway. How dumb do you have to be?
My story comes from the lovely state of Colorado. A woman named Megan Hess and her mother, Shirley Koch, they owned a funeral home. It's a reputable business. Friends that did that when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not why I'm telling the story. I'm telling the story because they have a reputable business where they did irreputable things. Apparently, they had a little scheme of they were charging people $1,000 to cremate their relatives.
It's not a bad deal.
No.
Somebody's had to pay for that service
Absolutely.
before. That's not a bad deal.
The only problem is that what they were giving you back was not your relative, because they were chainsawing these people, taking their body parts, and selling them on the black market.
Wow. That's aggressive.
Yeah. And then they would give you back a mixed bin of parts that they could not use from someone else.
Oh.
You asked me when I told you the story earlier, how did they figure this out? Well, I did a little digging, and I figured it out. The FBI was tipped off to this in 2018. They have both just been charged with a slew of crimes and sentenced to 20 years in prison. Somebody had the cremated remains tested. They got back 17 DNA profiles.
Oh, wow.
That's a little odd.
That's
a little odd. And so the FBI started watching them and realized that there was a truck that left about once a week.
Huh.
Well, the second time they did it, they had a local officer pull them over, and there were pieces of people in the back.
No.
And they went, oh, well, that makes this pretty easy. Wow. That, my friends, is good police work, and that's what's called a sting. They know what you're doing, and they want to catch you in the act, so there's no way for you to say that you weren't doing it.
For a second there, I was thinking you were going to tell me there was like some grandma just chain smoking heaters,
No.
and putting them in the urns.
No. The craziest part of this, is that the mother's role. Apparently, the daughter could not sever heads, so the mother got roped in because the daughter asked her to do that because she couldn't do it. So
How
that was
do
a
you
role.
Start that conversation.
I have absolutely no idea. That was the number one question I had.
I mean, when you're a kid, you're like, hey, Mom, can you help me with my homework? That's one thing. I feel like there needs to be a discussion, a very important discussion, had when daughter comes to you and says, Mom, can you help me decapitate this body? Yikes. Don't do crimes.
And as Patrick Holt said in the comments, don't do drugs while doing crimes.
Indeed.
Don't do any of it at all. Just be reputable, upstanding citizens, and we won't have stories like this.
Yes, and as always, Don't Do Crimes, brought to you by the Asheville Police Department and our resident Bills fan, Asheville Police Chief David Zach, who will be joining us tomorrow for a Football Thursday, as we will not be with you Friday this week, because Jeremy going to the Jets-Dolphins game down in Miami this weekend.
Leaving on a jet plane, and I know I'll be back again on Monday.
Indeed. So don't go anywhere, because when we come back from the break, we'll be into the top 6 of the Week 18 power rankings here in the Sportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Most of the big weather stayed south of the state line. Down in South Carolina, we've got hit-and-miss thunderstorms as a cold front comes through tonight. And then we sound the all clear overnight tonight. Turning cooler late week here in Asheville. 37 our low Thursday morning. Sunshine Thursday, cooler, high 56, low 32 tomorrow night. And then Friday's high temp in the upper 40s, upper 20s Friday night, Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic's crawling 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road is slow. Haywood County 40 eastbound stop and go between Pines Creek Road and US 276. Patton Avenue southbound is crawling between North Bear Creek Road and I-40. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. Tunnel Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, is slowing. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in 2 bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
No one has the same taste as you.
You damn right.
From the music you love to the podcasts you can't live without. And only the iHeartRadio app has it all for free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
The music we listen to all year long. The anthems that were our soundtrack for 2022. And the stars who made the songs we love will all be celebrated March 27th, live from Los Angeles.
Let's get it started.
Get ready for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Awards, coming back to Fox.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
Week 18 power rankings. Last week of the regular season, and we're up to the top 6. And number 6,
Go Chargers, go!
the Los Angeles Chargers, who are in the playoffs, which means there will be no coaching change.
No.
For this team.
No Sean Payton out there. That's not going to happen.
No. So, what's your resolution?
Ditch one bad habit.
Okay.
I don't care which one it is. You're either going to have to learn to run or you're going to have to learn to stop the run. I don't care which one it is. Austin Eckler is a dynamic player.
Mm-hmm.
But look, the discrepancy between this team and the next 5 is that they are horribly one-sided. Horribly one-sided. And so you're getting into shootouts with teams that could shoot out with you. Well, the difference is every one of these teams, in some shape, form, or fashion, can run. You can't. And you don't even try a very large period of the time. Look, this team is ridiculously dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a lot of health issues. But I just feel like they're going to go into the play. This is the highest ranked team on the power rankings that I have this funny feeling is going to go in the playoffs in the first round and get beat. And may get smoked.
Could happen.
I mean, you got to think this is a team that has not played well outside in the cold. And now you're going to go to either Cincinnati, Buffalo, or Kansas City. Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm. I would like that. I would like that if they go to Kansas City. They always tend to play them really, really well. So I think of those choices, I would take the Kansas City Chiefs if I were the Los Angeles Chargers.
I would too, I think, but I still don't like them.
Mm-hmm. No. I mean, they're going to be a dog regardless. But I think there's a lot of potential for this team.
Oh, there is.
And think about next year without the injuries, without the interruptions to the season. If they can do that, if they can swing that, if that is in their good fortunes for 2023, I mean, they could be right in the discussion with these other teams at the top of the conference next year. They'll be, I mean, I get that they're already just outside that group, but they can really be in the thick of the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals discussion next year. The defense wasn't as good as you wanted it to be with all of the additions.
No, but I think
a
year from now it could be.
That's what I'm thinking.
I feel like they just needed more time to gel, and sometimes that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's unsettling that your head coach is a defensive coach, and one of your biggest liabilities has been defensively.
It is a concern, but you got at least one more year. Should Brandon Staley fall on his face next year, then we could talk about a head coaching change. But I don't think that's in the cards. And part of that whole get rid of your bad habits, that could be, some of the risk taking that Brandon Staley is prone to do as well. But yeah, more importantly, it's learn to, run the damn ball. At number 5.
Oh, this is going to get a visceral response. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Where else are you supposed to have this team? If this is going to cause a visceral response, look, I get there are people that still believe this is the best team, but where else are you supposed to have them right now?
Well, the argument's going to be you're judging them off of 2 games without Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am to a point. But I'm also judging you on Jalen Hurts is, I would say, if you put a percentage chance of getting hurt on any quarterback in the NFL, Jalen Hurts is going to be in the top 3 because he runs like a fullback. So I thought with Gardner Minshew, you had a backboard that made me feel way better about that. And then he played the New Orleans Saints and looked like that was the first time he had ever seen a football in his life.
Well, he hasn't looked good in either of his starts.
Well, I don't know. I thought he was pretty good against Dallas. But then again, it's Dallas, and that defense is grossly overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I said nice things about the Cowboys. You had to know I was going to get one dig in there.
I was waiting for it.
Philadelphia's New Year's resolution, use to-do lists. There are a lot of pieces of this team that are either going to be free agents this year or next year or the year after that. You're going to have to be really deliberate on how you keep this team together. Think about this. How different does this offensive line look without Lane Johnson? Drastically.
Very.
How different does this offense look without Jalen Hurts?
Very.
Drastically. How different would this defense look without James Bradbury? I can keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very talented, very good roster. But you're going to have to be very methodical in how you put it back together. Because you can only spend so much money. And you have far exceeded the amount of talent that your salary cap should be paying for, and you're up against the cap aggressively. You have to get real creative.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully you can find some defensive stars in the draft again.
Well, Howie Roseman's been very good with it.
Right, this is such a good young team. And I think that's the thing that scares you, that should scare everybody the most in the NFC, is it look at the young core of this team. There's a chance that it only gets better. And that's a scary thought. This offense is setting all kinds of records this year. Franchise records, I mean. So I like their prospects. Going into the playoffs, you get the number 1 seed. You sew that up with a win this week against the Giants. And then you just wait for them to come to you. I would not be shocked to see Philadelphia in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I would not. I wouldn't either. They're not my number 1 team in the NFC, but.
Well, they're number 5 in this week's Week 18 power rankings. How about number 4?
The Kansas City Chiefs. And their 2023 resolution is real simple. Keep a notepad next to the bed. You better keep coming up with creative ways to move the ball, because that defense is about as inconsistent as any I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jones is a dog. But if you look around these other teams, you are the outlier defensively. So why are you here when the other 4 are so balanced? Because you have the mastermind that comes up with all these creative ways to get the ball in space and make it hard on a defense. That's what you have to keep doing. Because the days of a Tyreek Hill, the chances of you hitting on another one of those are not great.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce's getting older by the day. For you to stay here, you have to stay creative with Pat Mahomes. You're never going to be good defensively. You're just not.
Right.
That Spagnuolo defense, the intention is to keep you out of the end zone. Between the 20s, you're going to do some damage. But if I can stay creative enough to score on you, I'll be good for years and years and years to come.
They have no problems putting up points in Kansas City.
No. I mean, look, this team's very, very good. You get to this point, we say this every week when we do these power rankings. You get into nitpicking very quickly. Because to me, there are 5 teams that can win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Cut and dry. There is no, well, but maybe, nope. Not even close.
Yep.
Drop off a cliff.
4 seems low for me for the Kansas City Chiefs, but that's how good the top of this league is.
And that's the problem. As you can say, it's low, but you got to tell me who you'd put them over.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll give you the top 3 next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Haywood County 40 eastbound stop and go between Pines Creek Road and US 276. Patton Avenue southbound crawling between North Bear Creek Road and I-40. On Tunnel Road, no problems reported. Charlotte Highway backup free. Hendersonville Road, no delays. Sweeten Creek Road, no problems. Checking the drive time from Bent Creek to Avery Creek via NC 191 southbound. Drive time 9 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in 2 bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Hey, this is Peter Schrager from the NFL Network's morning show, Good Morning Football. You've also seen me on NFL Sidelines and in studio for Fox Sports on Sunday. Well, I've got a new podcast with iHeart in the NFL, and we're calling it The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to empty my proverbial notebook and take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dancing crew, trip for 2, nailed the final interview. Game with Doug, brand new mug. Come here, kid, give me a hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. New COVID-19 boosters designed for recent Omicron variants are now available. Learn about eligibility and schedule a free, updated booster today at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
The 2022 NFL season is underway, and there is no better way to stay current with all the news from around the league than with the NFL Now podcast. NFL reporters in the field and right out of the locker rooms, insiders in the know, insightful interviews, and immediate analysis. No waiting required. The time is now. NFL Now. 32 teams, one source. Join me, Andrew Siciliano, for all the football news you need to know. Listen to NFL Now on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
Top 3 of the Week 18 Power Rankings. Jeremy Greene, who comes in at number 3 this week?
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. Still having those doubts?
No, it's not that. This all ties to who's number 1. Every bit of this team, the team at 2, it all ties into who's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
My New Year's resolution for the Buffalo Bills, make your bed. Basic, simple things. Make your bed's that's an old military term. As then, no matter what happens, you can always say you accomplished something. That's the thought process.
Right.
With Buffalo, all you have to do is the basics. You're the most talented team in the league, and I'm not really here to listen to anything else. This is the most talented team in the NFL. However, the turnovers bother me. That tends to be a little bit cyclical, but it doesn't seem to be getting better. So the funniest part of that is that you keep winning even though you keep doing that. And that really just speaks to the talent on the roster and how good this team is.
Mm-hmm. I think Buffalo's my number 1 now. You know me.
You're a narrative guy.
I'm narrative guy. I'm narrative guy, and after what happened on Monday night, that's a galvanizing force.
Oh, no doubt.
This is now win it for Damar.
I don't disagree with that at all.
And I don't know that there's another team that'll be close.
I can't disagree with anything you just said. For me, that's hard to quantify, and I'm an analytical guy.
It is. So. Yeah, it's very hard to quantify. I mean, I can't explain it to you other than we have a driving force now. We all have the rallying point, and that's the one thing we've been missing. Sure, we've had the let's change the fortunes and all of that, but now there is a clear path to bringing this team together, giving them a purpose. I think win it for Damar is it's the battle cry that they need to finally get this to exorcise the demons, so to speak, from their past. Number 2.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
What's their resolution?
Set a monthly budget.
There you go.
Because your team is about to get real expensive real fast.
Mm-hmm. And unless the NFL goes to 7-on-7s, you're going to have a hard time paying those depth pieces.
Well, I mean, you're going to have the most expensive quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
You're going to have the most expensive receiver in the NFL.
Yes.
If you keep Jesse Bates, you're going to have the most expensive safeties in the NFL. Trey Hendrickson, I think, is only done for one more year, which leads me to believe you're probably going to have one of the 5 to 6 most expensive pass rushers in the NFL. Maybe you see where I'm heading with this.
Absolutely.
And I didn't even factor in Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Jermaine Pratt. There's a lot. I mean, I keep doing that for a minute, too.
Right.
So this is a team that is – I don't know how you keep it together. This is cap calisthenics to the highest degree. But that's the biggest thing moving forward, is that you have to know there are some big expenditures on the horizon. Make sure you keep that monthly budget right to make sure there's enough coins in the cookie jar as we go forward.
That means there's only one team left, the number 1 team last week of the regular season.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, there's something about this team that's just absolutely scary. They're 9-1 since Christian McCaffrey was brought in from the Carolina Panthers, and I said it when the trade happened. This is the piece. This is the piece that will, it's the rug that ties the room together. You had the scary defense. I don't care who your quarterback is. It's obvious that, pretty much anybody can come in and run this team and at least keep you competitive. Brock Purdy's been playing well, and I will not be shocked to see this team win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy.
I won't either. The Christian McCaffrey thing changed this team. And now getting Debo back for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Their 2023 New Year's resolution, embrace spontaneity. Let Kyle Shanahan be the little mastermind of this, because some of the things I've seen them do, basic things. This is not razzle-dazzle, triple reverse. It's not that. You got a quarterback that has really good eye discipline. And Kyle Shanahan is using that masterfully. And I watch San Francisco, and I never see anything that blows me away. But I always see how is any team supposed to beat this? They virtually never make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a team that will not beat themselves. You're going to have to beat them. And there's only a handful of teams in this league that I think can do that.
I agree with you wholehearted. To me, San Francisco, Buffalo, and Kansas City, those are my top 3, and they're all 1A through C. Because I won't be shocked to see any of them win it. Not trying to disregard Cincinnati by any means. You know how much I like Joe Burrow and that cast of characters that they have. But to me, it's those 3 teams. And I agree with you. There's 5 teams that could win a Super Bowl here. But I think, if you had to bet your house on it, you better go San Francisco 49ers.
To me, we're on a collision course for Philadelphia and the 49ers, Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals. I do not see a way that it is not those 4.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll be with you for a Football Thursday tomorrow at 3. Don't miss it.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Most of the big weather stayed south of the state line. Down in South Carolina, we've got hit-and-miss thunderstorms as a cold front comes through tonight. And then we sound the all clear overnight tonight. Turning cooler late week here in Asheville. 37 our low Thursday morning. Sunshine Thursday, cooler, high 56, low 32 tomorrow night. And then Friday's high temp in the upper 40s, upper 20s Friday night, Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. In Haywood County, 40 eastbound stop and go between Fines Creek Road and US 276. Patton Avenue southbound is crawling between North Bear Creek Road and I-40. Smoky Park Highway, no backups or problems. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Charlotte Highway, no delays. I'm Lindenfield with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that